Hey everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Hello. Can you guys hear me out there? Let me know if you can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Turn that AC off for me, would you? Can y'all hear me out there? Somebody let me know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anybody at all? Can I be heard? Somebody? There's a one. I assume that's a yes. All right. Um, I know there's going to be a lag in the chat. I'm sorry about that. I'll have to learn how long that lag is, but let's see. So far, we've only got about 9 people in here, so we'll give it just a minute and let a few people come in because I really want to hear as many opinions as I can get to the question that I'm about to ask. So, for me, it's a very important question. Maybe not so much for you, but for me, it is an incredibly important question, and I definitely want to hear as many opinions as I possibly can. Hello, Silvio. New to my channel? Well, welcome. Glad to see you. Glad to see everybody. Um, as always, I'm kind of a different flavor. So, if you're new around, you'll see that I'm a little bit different than most people. Not quite the same as everybody else. Hello, Star 17. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, guys, I often forget to remind you if you want to see more of my stuff and you want to see other people, you would like to see it advertised for YouTube to tell other people that I'm here, make sure you hit that like button. That's how it's going to happen. When you watch a video, make sure you hit the like button. That's not for me. It doesn't do anything for me, but it definitely tells YouTube that you like it. That's what that's there for. If you don't like it, then hey, don't like it. That's up to you. I'm not asking you to do something you don't want to do, but if you do like it, hit the like button. It sure does help YouTube. Hello, Tina. How you doing? Good to see everybody in here. All right, looks like we're already up, getting close to 40 people in here, guys. So I don't want to beat around the bush too awful much. My question, the important question that I want to ask is anybody do everybody here watching, do you get something from me doing what I'm doing? I have other places that I want to go. Cop watching is just where I started. Um, understand, I know a lot of people don't consider me an actual auditor, and that's because I don't scream and cuss and holler at the cops, but that's because they're not doing anything wrong here. That's the problem. If they do anything wrong in front of my camera, you'll see me all over it, but so far they haven't. They've been doing their job. We may not always agree with some of the, you might consider petty reasons that they pull people over, but that's because you don't understand where we live and the things going on and why they do what they do. And so I'm learning that as I go. Anyway, my question is, am I having an effect? Do you see a change? You know, do you think that I've managed to somewhat partially bridge that gap between myself and the police and maybe some of the civilians in the police? Maybe you're starting to see another perspective because there's always more than two for sure, always more than two perspectives to everything, almost as many perspectives as there are people in the situation, you know. But that I'm hoping that you get to see a different way of things being done and a different way to approach people, a different way to interact with people. You know, if you're not, please tell me now, and I'll shut this down and I'll never do it again. If it is helping, you do like it, and you do think that I can do some good, then please tell me that. But I need you to be 100% honest. So, guys, let's get on it. What do you think? I'm waiting to hear. Changing attitudes on both sides. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm actually trying to do. Hello, educator. Good to have you with us. It's working, but stay on them. Well, I'll stay on them. Don't worry. I'll still be doing the cop watching. I have a few other things that I want to get into too. Cops aren't the only thing to audit. We have an entire city, county, and state here. You know, I started with them, but that's not at all where I want to end. I have a long way to go to do a lot of the things that I want to do, and I'm only just getting started. So I've got the chat slowed down a little bit, guys, so I can try to keep up. It's just for me because I really want to read through some of these. So if I'm quiet for a minute, that's why. It's because I'm trying to read. Tinker too. Yeah, they do seem very approachable. They didn't have a problem with me approaching them. They were nervous in the beginning, just like I was. But as long as I remain respectful, it surely seems like they don't have a problem me coming around filming at all. As a matter of fact, they enjoy it, I think, as much as I do because they get to show that maybe they aren't as bad as people think. Think the ride-alongs help. I do too. It sure helped me. I got to see it from their point of view. And I still have some of those planned. I'm going to do more of those. Just our schedules have to come together a little better. Don't consider me in that group. Thanks, bits and pieces. I appreciate it. That word's thrown out almost as much as auditor, the frauditor idea. And some people consider me a frauditor, but that's okay. I'm glad that some others don't. Cops don't give a shit when they violate. I don't know if that's true. I assume that's at war if I'm not speaking things, or at war. I'm sorry. If I'm not speaking things correctly, I'm sorry. Um, I don't know that you can just say that generally across the board for all cops and all agencies. I wouldn't say that, and I wouldn't say that about my locals because it sure doesn't seem like they're violating that many rights. I'll be honest. Hello, Butch Brady. How you doing? For no just cause and searching. I see that there, delete assholes. I love the name, by the way. All the delete names that are coming out with all the Z's. I love that stuff, by the way. I think that's incredibly hilarious. Makes me laugh anyway. Um, the idea of whether or not it's a just cause or not is going to be more of a personal opinion. However, if they are violating an ordinance or a ORC, you have to understand they're going to get pulled over. And it's because, and you have to understand, guys, I have a couple videos that I've already shot with someone else, but unfortunately, when I run them through the editor, it made them too small, and you can't read all the information that I originally had there because I have cheap, crappy editing software. So I'm either going to have to do it live or something and show you everything I have, but I have the actual statistics here, and I want you to know that in 2017, our county was ranked 13th for having the most drug overdoses and deaths in the state. And now, as of 2020 and through now, we are ranked number one. And those are mostly fentanyl related cases, and that's why they want to search. That's why, is because they're trying to prevent that stuff from. And it's not just that they're saving that person's life. It's not really about whether or not it's a moral issue as to whether or not that person does drugs. Understand how much that increases all other types of crime, everything from domestic violence to theft, all the property crimes. Like the guy that a couple weekends ago that was doing like almost 70 down Park Avenue. That's what those kinds of drugs do to people. They put other people in danger. So I know it seems like they're doing a lot of unnecessary searches, but those unfortunately have become necessary just because that's how that stuff's found. It's not like people just roll down the street and say, hey, I've got a ton of meth and fentanyl in my car. I hope no one cares. So I disagree sometimes with some of the weird reasons that we get pulled over, but you have to understand it from their side of the coin as well. There's always two sides to a coin, guys. Of course, they search them and the passenger too. As long as consent is given, they're going to search. I mean, that's just the way it works. They're only violating rights if the person doesn't agree to it. If the person disagrees and holds to their Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights, and they violate them, then you are correct. That would be a violation. But if they're allowed to ask all they want, they don't have to have a reasonable suspicion to ask. I mean, hell, I could walk up and ask you to see your driver's license. If you show it to me, it's not a violation of your rights. It's up to you to know your rights. It's up to you to hold your rights. It's not up, it's not up to anyone else. If you don't know your rights, then I would suggest you read the Bill of Rights so that you can learn those. The police will ask if you give in and you give consent. That is not a violation. Sorry, but a consent is not the same. Like my flag art, thank you. I love it. The other side of the coin is that we are all criminals. Oh, I don't know about that. I wouldn't agree with that at all. They don't consider me a criminal. They haven't tried to violate my rights one bit. They haven't screamed at me to stay off the scene, none of that stuff. So, I mean, what you're saying sounds right if you watch a lot of auditing channels, but it doesn't sound right in this town. And I've been out there proving that that's just not true. It's not true at all. They need probable cause unless they have consent. If the driver or any of the passengers consent to a search of their person, or the driver consents to a search of the car, then it is not, they don't need probable cause then. However, notice a lot of times when they do pull someone over, it's the paraphernalia that they see that then removes the need for consent, and then they no longer need consent. They do have probable cause. So, those are some of the things that you have to understand during a stop, how it goes from no longer needing consent and having automatic probable cause. So it's those ins and outs that you have to understand, and you don't always get that on my camera. You don't always see what they see, obviously, So sometimes you have to sit back and realize that you can't see everything from your point of view behind this camera. And if there were 10 other cameras there, you might see 10 different ways of seeing it, And that's every video that's ever shot, no matter who shoots it. There's no way to cover absolutely every aspect from every angle when you only have one camera shooting from one angle. So, a lot of assumptions get thrown in, but they're just assumptions. It was bad before you showed, right? Are you asking that the cops were really bad before I started showing them on camera? That's not what I'm finding out. I'll be honest, the more I talk to, excuse me, guys, I've got allergies and I've been outside all day cutting grass and breaking rocks. So if I sound a little nasally, that's why. In this town, the more I go around and the more, because I'm not, when I'm chasing the cops, I stop at gas stations, I talk to people on the sidewalk. I see a lot of people, and even in my everyday life, I'm very approachable. I talk to everybody. And you would be very surprised about how many people actually have positive interactions. And I know a lot of you don't understand, but we actually have a, what they call, I don't have time to read that. I'm sorry. I don't. Understand that I'm sorry, my wife's trying to write me notes and I can't read that in the chat. I can't keep up. It's not possible for me. I'm sorry. I don't I don't have time. Now you made me forget what I was saying.
Sorry.
Well, stay out of it, please, so I can focus, because I can't, I got a lot to say. A lot of people tell me about their positive interactions, and I haven't wanted to do a lot of interviews about that, because a lot of people will just say that I'm only showing one side of the coin, and that's because you don't understand that after Chile showed up, what you guys can't see as I drive down the street are the blue porch lights that have come on. What I found is that the majority of people in Ironton support their police. They're actually not against them. So what a few people are saying does not make it true for the whole. So, you need to understand that. And I can't speak for cops all over the nation, and I'm not trying to. And if you're trying to bring any other cop that you've seen, any other auditor in any other city into this, then you can't, because we're not dealing with those, and we're not dealing with those locations or those agencies. I'm strictly dealing with the Ironton Police Department. This has nothing to do with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department or the jail that is in Ironton, because Ironton does not have a jail. The only jail inside the city limits of Ironton is the Lawrence County Jail. And once the police have released you to the jail, then you're under the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department then, and it no longer has anything to do with IPD. And that's causing a lot of confusion too. People assume that all of that bad stuff that supposedly happens in jail, and the video that you've seen, or videos of people being abused in there. That's not the Ironton Police Department, so you can't hold it against them. So, you have to be able to understand that just because they're wearing a badge does not mean that they are corrupted. And that does not mean the entire force in every single city across the country is. Now, are the majority? That's a possibility. I can't speak to them. All I can speak to is what I've noticed right here with the cops that I'm out there with, more days a week than I'm not. Saw the Kent Freeman video, pure evil and rights violations. Well, that's because you didn't see the unedited video and you don't know the backstory. The problem is you saw one tiny point of view of that situation. And because of that, in the beginning, I would have agreed with you, Aaron. I would have agreed with you 1,000%. However, now that time has went by and I've seen the unedited video, and now I know the complete backstory with Kent Freeman. No, that's not true. He actually particularly or possibly put more lives than just the officers in jeopardy that day by firing. He wasn't shooting at a target. That's an absolute lie. And if you listen to the video, you'll hear him screaming, I was shooting into the air. I was shooting into the air. Well, the place he lives is not a good place, and no one should just shoot into the air. That's a bad idea. If you don't know anything about firearms, you shouldn't have one. And anybody that doesn't know that you should not just point one in the air and start racking off bullets, let me tell you right now, you do not do that. Those come down somewhere. Maybe you don't realize that, but what goes up must come down. You don't do that. You're an idiot if you do. And that's what Kent did. I mean, he admitted that I was shooting into the air. So the whole thing about Chili, how he's shooting at his targets, that's all bullshit and baloney. None of that is true. So, the assumption that the deputy went and violated rights and did a lot of stuff he shouldn't do, that's the problem. It's an assumption because people don't understand the truth of the story. Now, I would have probably done things a little bit different than the deputy, but the deputy at least went less lethal. Personally, I would have probably drawn on him and made sure he didn't move because I didn't know where the pistol was and I'd have been scared to death. You know. So anyway, back to what we're talking about and getting off of all this other stuff. Besides, that is also the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department and not the Ironton Police Department. And I hope how soon people realize that the police department that I'm out there with all the time has nothing to do with the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department. The two will work together, but they are not the same, obviously. One works for the county, the other works for the city. So you guys need to understand there are two different law enforcement agencies, and you can't just see everything with a badge and assume they are all exactly the same. He knew where the pistol was. He's seen it. Why? Because Chili told you? Because he said he looked that direction? Of course he looked that direction. There's a whole table, but if you pay attention, that table is so full of crap. And with the adrenaline that's in his blood, thinking that he might have been shot at, he didn't see that pistol. He didn't see that pistol. You can say it all you want, but you don't know what he's seen. You weren't there. You're assuming that because Chili said so, that it has to be absolutely true. And that is the worst way to assume something. I'm not trying to insult you, Road Forks Ahead. I'm just trying to explain that you can't know that he knew where the pistol was. That's probably not true. He didn't see that pistol. There's a whole table full of trash all over that table. And even if he had seen that pistol, he didn't know which pistol he had. He could have had another one in his pocket or 3 or 4 more. And that's something else you're not thinking about, because you're not thinking, you're just assuming because you've seen a video that you know everything there is to know about what happened. Don't assume so much, because every time you assume, you're going to assume a lot of wrong things that aren't necessarily true. So understand that when Chili tells a story, 99% of the time, most of what he says is absolute bullshit. Just know that. Know and understand. If you don't know, I'll tell you right now. You're right there, Bear Cub. Assume it makes an Bear Cub. Assume it makes an ass out of you and me both. That is an absolute fact. That's what assumption does. When I first picked up a camera, I assumed that what I'd heard was true. However, I didn't run out there and act like it. I waited to see, because I do understand somewhat about assuming. Why was your comment skipped? I don't know. Are staff aware prior to the audit? No, I don't see why they would be. They don't know what night I'm coming into town or when it's going to start. I show up on the scene. There's a lot of stops that probably happen that I don't even make it to. Legicator, are you still in here? If he's still in here, I'm sure he can tell you. There's probably a lot of those quick stops where they pull them over for a plate obstruction or windshield obstruction and give them a warning and send them off. And hell, it lasted less than 3 minutes, and I'm on the other side of town. Probably a lot of little stops like that I never even get on film. So they know when I'm in town, obviously, because I can't hide it. As soon as they see me, they know I'm in town. But until they see me, no, they have no idea when I'm coming or which stop I'm going to be on. Hell, I don't even know which stop I'm going to be on. I just try to catch them as I catch them. The apps for the scanner doesn't work, and all of the app scanners, the scanner apps don't work. I might get part of the original call out, but as soon as they try to communicate back with base, I'll hear them call out to the 800 number, and then I won't hear the reply. So I don't get it all. It's encrypted. So I definitely don't get much on a scanner, which is why I just have to waste tons of gas and tons of time trying to get, 3 or 4 videos a week that I bring you. I will absolutely. When I see good, I'll report it. When I see bad, I'll report that. But see, the thing is for the most part, rather than reporting, with the cop watches, I just try to let you see what you see without so much. I don't want to tell you what to believe like Chili or some others do. I want you to see what I see and hear what I hear and then make up your own mind. And then, then there's no argument between us because I didn't tell you what to believe. You get to believe whatever you want. Like to see more live on the scene videos. The only problem with going live, guys, I don't know if you all have ever went live, but when you hit the live button, you have to enter a lot of information. You got to come up with a title, a description. You got to check this and block that, go through all this stuff. And it'll take like a minute, minute and a half just trying to get a live set. You can't just hit one button and go live. If it were that easy, I would do that. But unfortunately, it's not that easy. So with my phone, all I have to do, I can have it set up, and all I do have to do is hit one button to record. So that's what I do, so that I can get as much time on that stop as I possibly can. Because rarely am I ever right behind them when they make a stop. I mean, it almost never happens. So I always get there. I don't know how long they've been there. I don't know what's happened before I've showed up. And so I'm just trying to get as much time on that camera as I can. And that's why I don't go live. It's just because it takes too much time to set up. It's just not plausible. And if I just stay live all night, then my phone's dead and I can't do half the videos that I would normally do. What does that say? Shame on me for auditing the right way. Maybe. Shame on me for something anyway. Some people like to throw a little shame my way for sure. I don't think I've done anything to be ashamed of, but apparently there's some other people out there that think I should be ashamed. Do I agree with a full search on both people in the car plus a pat down and a wallet search? Well, that depends on the situation. Every single stop that's out there, there's no one answer to fit that. And if you think there is, it's because you've never actually been out there and you don't know what could happen. I know what could happen because I've been out there. And here recently I seen something happen that I'm praying to God I don't ever see again, that I don't ever have to deal with. So if they pull you over and they ask for consent to search and the driver's consent to search, then absolutely they're allowed a full search. If they ask you to step out and you step out, they are allowed to pat you down for weapons. If you don't like it, don't drive. Make sure your plates aren't obstructed. Make sure your car is legal. All you have to do is keep your car legal. Keep your car legal. And most of these drug stops wouldn't even happen. But the onus is on you to make sure that you're driving according to code and according to ordinance. They're not hard to find. Like I said, I have another couple videos with a lot of information to bring you, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted when I tried to edit it. So I guess I'm going to have to get some streaming software so that I can share screen and show you guys things, because I can't do it like right here on YouTube. I don't have that ability. I'm going to have to find a way to pay for some streaming software so that I can get, so I can bring you more information, because I have a lot of it. My auditing skills are there. It's just on the stops, there's really been no reason to get too big into it. But as far as agreeing with a full search, it depends. Yeah, if they have just cause to search, then it's no longer my opinion they're going to do that. No. I'm costing, Unclean Hands says I'm costing him money because he can't make fun of me since I went straight. Well, I tell you what, you can go ahead and make fun of me all you want. I don't mind. Everybody else has. And I don't take things personally. You have to understand, I'm such a small guy that people have been making fun of me my whole life. I've taken on several bullies and taken them down. So I don't, if they're not coming up to my face trying to hurt me, I don't care what people say. It doesn't matter to me. So, but yeah, you're free to make fun of me all you want. If you can make some money on it, go for it. Did the police staff know? No, they don't know until they see me. When they see me out, then they know I'm coming out. Now I'm pretty sure they know I'm out almost every weekend. And it's not because I call them and tell them. It's not because we don't have long phone calls. We don't have cookouts. We don't sit around the backyard and talk like old friends. These guys are not my friends. I've only gotten to know them since I picked up a camera, and I'm spending a lot of evenings with them out on the street. And believe me, that's not the same as getting to know them personally. Riding in the vehicles is what's allowing me to get to know them on a little more personal level, and allowing them to get to know me on a little more personal level, so that when we are out there, we can feel more relaxed with each other because we have a better idea and understanding of where each of us are coming from. That way we don't, they see that they don't have to be as nervous around me because we're a lot more like-minded than they think. And I'm finding that they're a lot more like-minded than I thought. And I'm hoping that through this we become allies instead of enemies. Michelle, no, it's absolutely not because I became friends with them. I think I just explained that we're not friends. Um, it wasn't that I thought my community. See, now here's where the difference is. My community needs a lot of change, but it's not about the cops. That the cops didn't cause the problems in the community. That's just not it. There's so many people that want to fight, but I don't think most of you understand who the enemy is. For some reason, you watch a few auditing videos and you think the cops are your worst enemy, and that's absolutely not true. There might be a few of them out there that are, and I'm not going to say that there isn't. What I'm saying is I haven't found them in this town, and I haven't went to any others. So I'm not speaking for anybody except the Ironton Police Department, and I'm not speaking for them personally. I'm not out there trying to make them look good. I mean, all I do is show you what happens, and you can decide yourself whether or not they look good or whether they don't. I'll leave that strictly up to you. So, but understand that our community and every community needs a lot of change, but the cops aren't going to do that. They don't have the authority to change laws. Only we, the people, do. So understand that united, till we get together as a people, we can't really affect that change. And, the cops would be our allies, I believe. At least I believe the Ironton Police Department would be our allies. I can't say that every cop everywhere, obviously, because I don't know anything about them, but I am learning a little bit about the Ironton Police Department. And if you don't know Captain Chad Goo yet, I suggest you go to the Legicator channel and check him out. Lead Cutor. If anybody has his link, if you could post that in the chat, if anybody's got that, I'd appreciate it. Go check him out. Listen to what he says. Go to my channel and listen to the interview. Listen to how he explains to all the people under him what their actual job is. Don't be gullible. Cops don't follow laws. That's a total assumption based on absolutely no truth whatsoever. That's just not true across the board. You're trying to broad brush everybody, and you can't do that. Thank you. I don't know if I can even pronounce that properly. Adirondack bear cub. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but $10 there. I sure do appreciate that. That's gas, guys. I don't have a whole lot of that, so thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, Justin M. I don't know how to do it from this screen. I'm not sure how to do it. Let's see. I don't know if I can do it live here or not. I don't know. I don't I don't have a way to do it here live to add you as a mod because this isn't streaming software. It's just YouTube Live. But later, Justin M., I will add you on. I have to do that in my YouTube studio, which is a completely separate thing, and I'm not sure how to get it done. I don't want to take my attention off the screen at the moment. I'm trying to interact as much as I can with y'all and give you as much detail and talk with you while I'm reading some very big comments. So, please bear with me. And if I don't catch your question or your comment, please just type it in again. Maybe I'll see it the second time here. You're right. They do enforce the opinions of politicians on you, Brian, but the cops can't and won't change that. If you want to change that, we the people have to get together and change what the politicians do. That's what we have to do. If you want real change, then unite. Unite all across this country and the world, and let's take the politicians on and change the laws the way we want them. Change all that bullshit. You can't get mad at the cops. They're duty bound to enforce that. They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice, and not all of them enforce every unconstitutional thing. There again, that's a broad brush, because I can tell you that not every cop's ever even wrote a seatbelt ticket. A lot of them won't write a seatbelt ticket because they don't believe they should have to wear it. But that's something that you wouldn't know unless you actually ask a police officer. You just sit back and watch a video and assume a lot. Don't assume too much. A lot of my assumptions have died since I've started doing this, because I found out a lot of what I assumed wasn't true at all. Chile needs donations. Send all you can. Please don't stop. I would agree. That poor feller needs the money. Just ask him. He'll tell you. He's been trying to raise money now all across the country under everybody's name. So, yeah, definitely. That poor feller definitely needs the money. Eaton beaver. I don't know that they're crazy. It's just that they're unlearned. They have a particular opinion because they don't know where to get the other side of the coin, and sometimes people just refuse to see the other side of the coin. They can't understand that. They assume that all cops are bad because they say the good ones won't stand up against the bad ones, but that's not true either. It happens all the time. The only problem can be sometimes when certain departments, and it's not this one that I'm speaking of, so please don't confuse them. Certain police departments are so corrupt that the couple good ones in it, if they did stand against the bad ones, they would be ostracized and treated worse than they treat criminals. So, that understanding, if you have one of those types of police agencies in your community, the only thing you can do is unite the people so that you can protect the good cops and get rid of the bad ones. The cops can't do everything for you. If you sit back and expect the cops to do it all, then you're an idiot. If you sit back and wait on government to do it all, then you're an idiot. It just means you're ignorant. You don't know nothing yet. What you need to figure out is that the only possible way that true change can and will come is it's given by the Constitution. We, the people, have all the power. The problem is we've been lazy and we haven't acted like we, the people. We haven't went out and done the things that we need to do. We went to sleep and elected people that we said we thought were going to do it so that we could be lazy and stare at our screens and do absolutely nothing. Now it's time to quit that. Now it's time to stand up and be responsible, we the people. We have to stand up and be the responsible citizens that we're supposed to be and take our country back. Nobody's going to give it to you. That's why you don't have it yet. If you want it, then we need to stand up and take it back. United we stand, divided we fall. Everybody knows. And instead of trying to unite, we're too busy dividing ourselves, arguing over petty little shit that does. You're female, I'm male, you're black, I'm white, you're green, I'm red. None of that shit makes any difference whatsoever in all the things that plague mankind. Those are just arguments. I mean, geez, as far as racism is concerned, I understand it might be immoral, but it's not illegal. So why don't we worry about all the unconstitutional, illegal stuff? And we can put racism to the side. Hell, we can argue about that shit some other day. It doesn't matter. Let's all stand together and fight for the things that we know are correct. Let's do that. You know, let's do that. If you want to make change, let's do that. If you don't want to make change, hell, sit behind your screen and your keyboard and just keep complaining, because you'll get what you got right now, and it's just going to keep getting worse. If you want to make a difference, I'm getting ready to show you how to start that. So keep watching. I promise you, great things are coming. I promise you, great things are coming. There's no doubt. If you'll keep watching, if you want me to keep doing this, I'm going to show you how to start to change things. I'm going to show you how to get the information that you don't know how to get. We'll be going through that, and we'll be following that dollar, and we'll figure out where it's going. And if it's not going where we want it going, then we're going to band together and we're going to change that. That's what's about to happen. Man, I got this chat slowed down and it's still going too quick for me. Um, Work lion. So that said, what am I thinking about doing? Well, I'm thinking about, uh, you know, my auditing of the police has led me to the point where there really isn't much that I can do besides watch them. And apparently, as long as I'm out there watching them, most things seem to turn out okay. So now I'm going to continue doing that. But one of the things that I want to do is start auditing the town itself. I want to start looking at the tax money coming in, where it's going, what it's paying for. We need to find out if our locals are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Nobody's doing that as far as I know. They're just running around wasting time and taxpayer money doing a bunch of public information requests. These auditors love to request information, but the information doesn't do them a damn bit of good because they're not requesting anything that matters. Let's go after the records that make a difference. Band with me, the people here in the local area. If you're listening and you can hear me, band together with me, help me. Let's go after that information. Let if you want to figure out what's going on, you need to follow the money. We follow the money, and we'll find whether or not things are going the way we want, and whether or not the money's going where it should. Let's go figure out where the money's going. If it's not going to the right place, then the only people that are going to stop that is us, because apparently the politicians already put it where they want it. That's why it's not going to the right place. It's my assumption. And it may be going to the right place. I can't say that it's not, because I don't know yet. We haven't done a proper audit of it. But those kinds of things are what we're going to do. Thank you, Montauk Tom. More gas money, or do more ride-alongs and use the city's gas, right? That was another selfish reason I wanted to do a few ride-alongs. I get a couple videos and I don't have to pay for the gas. So that is absolutely a good idea there. I appreciate it. And thank you for that $10, man. I definitely appreciate that. Have I been to any city council meetings? No, delete assholes, I haven't. And the only reason that I haven't is I don't live inside the city. I will be going to those. But what I need are some people who live inside the city. I don't even have a reason to speak at one of those meetings because I don't live there. I live outside the city, not within the city limits. So I'm not even a citizen of the city. Doesn't mean that I don't care what happens there. I live out in the country where there really is no governing body. There is nothing out here. It's just us hillbillies. But it's the town that needs to change, and then the county itself, and then the state, and then we'll work on federal government. But you got to build from the bottom up. If you don't start with a good foundation, then the whole house of cards is going to fall. So I followed the cops around, and so far they seem to be doing good, and I'll keep doing that. But what I want to add to it is starting to audit the local government, and then we'll worry about county government, then we'll head to the state. But all this is going to take time. It's not something that I can do in 2 or 3 videos, or 2 or 3 days. So it's all going to take time. If this is something y'all are interested in, that's what I'm curious about. Do you want to see me do these things? Are you going to follow me along and watch me do these things and help me do that? If you're going to do that, if you're going to watch and it's going to matter, and you're going to learn, you're going to actually watch and learn how to do these things as I show you and teach you how to do it, then that's going to be absolutely awesome. No, y'all batshit crazy asked if I had any updates on Trayvon Frazier. No, I do not. I have put out the feelers. I've got nothing back. So nobody wants to talk to me about it. I don't know anybody personally involved. So no, I've not heard anything, and I don't know how to get a hold of them. So until I'm able to hear something, I won't be able to report on that. But as soon as I do have something, you will get the update without having to ask me, I promise. Get free food stamps, follow that money. Okay. Let's see here. You started with chili or started around that time? Are you talking to me, Eating Beaver? Because if so, I didn't really start with chili. Chili was already started. Chili asked me to become Ironton auditor. He asked me to go out and make sure the cops were doing what they were supposed to do, and that's what I did. And what I found is that they were doing that. And then Chili didn't like it because he tried to tell me that my job was to go out and be an asshole and knock them off their game so that they did something wrong. And that's just stupid. That's not how it should work at all. And I disagree vehemently with that entire idea. I couldn't disagree more. Some other people think that they say things like, well, they're never going to do anything wrong if you know they're there filming. Well, then damn it, that's the idea. I want them to know I'm there filming so they don't do anything wrong. If you think I should hide in the bushes until they tase somebody and then jump out so I can show you, that's just being stupid. I have no desire whatsoever to hide and let them do something wrong just so I can catch them in it. I'd rather they know I'm right there all the time so that they don't do anything wrong. Isn't that what you want? I thought that's what everybody else wanted. You want them to do it right all the time. And now that they're doing it right all the time in front of my camera, not all of you, let me rephrase. There's a few of you that don't want to do nothing but bitch, cry, and whine and come up with every reason that they must be doing it right instead of maybe they're just doing it right. And even if it's just my camera and my presence that keeps them doing it right, then be damn happy. I've already won that battle. It's already over. It's already over. They're already doing it right. You know, so you can't just you can't complain both ways. Damn it, if they're doing what they should do or they're not doing what they don't do, I mean, you complain one way or the other. You know. No, Terry, it's called outing the bad ones. Well, you got to find the bad ones first. You know, you can't just out somebody because you believe they're bad. You have to know they're bad. You can't see one video and assume that what you've seen is correct, because a lot of you all seen a lot of highly edited video and a lot of bullshit lies. You just don't know that yet. But don't worry. I have got some, some records requests to do. I've got some body cam footage to get. I've got some paperwork to get, and I'll be showing you as much as I can the other side of some of that highly edited and highly, I don't know what word I'm looking for. Chili likes to say a lot of things that isn't exactly true, and he likes to give a certain point of view so that in his video, you know, all you see is one side. And if you can't step back, I tell you, the best thing to do when you're watching one of his videos is turn his damn voice off and watch the video and see what you come up with. Because if you don't listen to him tell you every move someone's making, you don't come away with the same idea. That's all I'm saying. You guys got to calm down, dude. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very passionate about it. You have to understand that I get angry because everybody has a lot of assumptions. They assume a whole lot of stuff, and no one wants to relax like I do and just let it play out to see whether or not somebody's bad. You know, nobody wants to know. So I want to know. I want to know the truth. I want to know both sides of the story before I form an opinion, because you have to know that an opinion is a mental estimate of what you think is correct, but it can't be proven. Once an opinion is proven, then it becomes a fact. It's no longer an opinion. Personally, I go on opinion until I find the facts, and then I only deal in facts regardless of what my original opinion was. So I would prefer that everybody did that. That's going to be the best way to get it done. So understand that if you're looking for drama and you're looking for me out just to piss off the cops so that you can get a good laugh, and you want me to go out and take my anger out on the cops so that you don't have to, so that you can live vicariously and enjoy yourself and laugh your ass off at some pig, you got the wrong channel and the wrong guy. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If they're not being pigs, I have no reason to go out and call them pigs, and I won't. I wouldn't insult anybody without reason. I never have. The only time that I did, I apologized, and I won't do that again. And if I do it in the future and I find that I was wrong, I would definitely come back and apologize for that. So just understand that, I'm trying to do it right, trying everything I can to do it right. And the right way is being chill and understanding both sides of the conversation and understanding all the facts before you run out and be an asshole to anybody. And I mean anybody, not just cops, your neighbor, anybody. Calm down. You don't have to react to the world in anger. It's not necessary. You'd be surprised at how much better people respond. Even assholes respond better to you when you're not an asshole back. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed at the friends you'll make in life and how much respect you'll garner when you don't treat people like they treat you, when you treat them like you want to be treated rather than treating them how they treat you. Now, if they treat you particularly bad, give them back what they give. I do that. That's for sure. Wendy Donnelly, helped to get a dash cam, $49.99. Thank you so much. I appreciate that beyond all you know. Yes, I would love to have a dash cam. Money is a thing, obviously. I live on a very limited income, and most of what I have just goes in gas right now. I can barely pay my $275 iPhone bill so that I can keep this up and put gas in the car. So, I'm not asking y'all to, I'm not begging for money. This isn't a damn fundraiser. It's not like that. I'm just saying that money is tight for me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, whether anyone else is paying for it or not. But I want you all to know that I appreciate every single dollar that anybody gives me, and I will use it to that means. It will not go on anything except for continuing this mission that I'm on. And this mission that I'm on, believe it or not, is about bringing the people together. You know, I am not a leader, but I want we the people to lead. We the people are supposed to be the leaders in this country. We the people are supposed to be the ones who take over everything. We're the ones that have all the power. All the power. All the power in this country belongs to us constitutionally. But we're only going to have it if we take it, because politicians are not, they can't give it to you because they've already taken it away from you. If they say they're going to give it back to the people, that's an all out lie. Just know that's not going to happen. They don't plan on giving you anything back, because right now they're sitting pretty. So, you know, if you want to take it from them, then let's go do that. Am I using the new mic right now? No, work lion, because I'm at home on a webcam and I'm not using my phone. However, on my videos when I'm out, yes, I definitely have that microphone on, and that microphone is absolutely awesome. Everybody know that Work Lion here in the chat, he's the one that bought the microphone that I use on my phone, and that's the reason that sometimes I forget to put it on because I'm in a hurry. But know that whenever you hear everything really clear, it's due to Work Lion. You can thank him for that microphone. He bought me that. So everybody, I want to point that out. Guys, it's so hard to follow all of this chat. I'm working. It's hard to read everything. There's with everybody talking to each other and to me, it's very hard to pick things out. So when you type something directly to for me, I don't know if everybody understands on YouTube. If you hit @IR, it'll already come up with a banner, and then it puts a banner around my. When I see it, it won't for you, but it'll put up a yellow banner around Ironton Auditor, and then that way I can pick it out of the chat a lot easier, because as fast as this goes by, it's really hard to see. It's really hard to see the questions that come up or the comments. Hello, Blue Bear. So when you type that @Ironton Auditor, it puts a banner up, and it's easier for me to see that you're talking directly to me. So, you know, if you feel that I'm not following your chat, it's because it's very difficult to do. You should, you know, it goes very fast here, and it's very hard to concentrate on one when 5 slide by. Very difficult. I'm trying, but it's very, very difficult, because some people have a lot to say. And that's okay. I don't mind. It's just, you know, it's hard. It's tough to follow. So the banner definitely helps me keep up. Does Chili wear makeup? Man, I have no idea. I have to assume that he does. You guys have seen some of the sores on his face and how, like, the next day they're. It's an assumption, just an assumption. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Hey, glad to see you, man. I'm glad to see you here. I put a comment under one of your videos and gave you my email address, Sovereign Soul. If you would give me a call sometime, send me an email so I can give you my phone number, because I'd really like to talk to you personally. I'd like to speak with you. Believe it or not, we're very like-minded. And when I hear you speak, it's basically like I'm hearing my own thoughts and words come out. So there's a lot that I'd like to speak with you about. If you wouldn't mind at some time, if it's convenient and you don't mind, I would love for you to send me an email, so that because I'm not sure of your email address, I would love to see you my phone number. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Recommend that I go to Findlay, Ohio. I don't even know what you're talking about going on in Findlay, Ohio with another auditor. I do not have time to watch, you know, I mean, shit, I don't even know how many auditors there are. There's such a list. There's no way I can watch them all. So I'm not even sure who you're talking about. But as for going to Findlay, I wouldn't have the money that if I wanted to go there. Maybe in the future I'll be able to travel around, but for the moment I'm kind of stuck here, and home is where I have to start with what I want to do. This is where I need to start. Once we the people have our town and our county, then we can expand. Holy crap, it's a high phone bill. Yes, I have absolutely unlimited. I also have unlimited internet at my home and on the phone. And yes, it's a very high phone bill, but it's like $50 a month just for the phone. So that's added onto the bill. It's a very high bill. You know, so old Chili talking about giving me $1,000 phone, absolutely not. He gave me $110 when I first got the phone, and that was just enough to turn it on so I could walk out the door with it. Everything else I paid. So every month it's right around, you know, right around $265, $275 a month. So, you know, I'm going to be paying a lot on that. Hopefully that'll go down. I'm hoping it's just because of some things, and once a few things are paid, I'm hoping that it'll go down a little bit. But if it don't, then hey, I'll pay it, and you know, I'll run with what I can. What was that? Have to stay in Ironton because I have an agreement with them. Have an agreement with who? That's a good question. I missed the name on that because it's already gone and I can't find it now. But I'm not sure who you think I have an agreement with, but I have an agreement with nobody. I haven't agreed to do anything for anybody or anything with anybody except for Eugene. Eugene and I have agreed to ride along with each other, and that's the only agreement that I have with anybody. So everything else I do because I want to. I do it when I like, with who I like, and I don't ask for permission, and I don't ask for everybody to agree. Ironton Auditor, yes, Lynn, man, that's much easier to see. That now I see the banner up around my Ironton Auditor, so it's easy for me to pick it out of the chat. What about your interview you gave Chili? What about my interview that I gave Chili about the one Lawrence County Sheriff's Department deputy? Because that's who that was about. That was one deputy. That is my one negative interaction with law enforcement. That has nothing to do with the Ironton Police Department, separate agency altogether. And that particular deputy, that was out here on my own private land. So that was not in town. It had nothing to do with the Ironton Police Department. So understand it's two different agencies. Then go to another town. I don't have to prove it to you, Tanya Burns. If you think that I have to prove something to you, I don't. I haven't went to another town because I don't have this one yet. It's not about the police. It's about the entire government in town and the entire county. That's where I'm going. So going to another town is not going to do me or you any good. So if I have to prove to you that I don't have an agreement, then I don't have to prove that. I don't care what you think. You can believe whatever you want. I've explained it. If that's not good enough, then hey, I don't know what else to tell you. You can believe whatever you like, regardless of what you hear. That's always up to you. Have an agreement with the ice cream truck. Okay. Um, I wish I had an agreement with the ice cream truck. I wish they agreed to bring it here and give me ice cream. Some of these hot, humid days and nights that we've had, that would have been good. Everybody's got their own opinion. That's absolute certainty. I wish more people would deal more in fact and less in opinion. If they do that, that'd sure help out a whole lot. We wouldn't be dealing with so much silliness in the world. There's too many people with too many opinions, and most of the opinions, the people that have them, and I'm not calling anybody out singly. I'm saying that, like, my opinion, don't have enough sense to go research the facts to find out whether or not their opinion is correct. That's the problem. If you go in search of the truth, regardless of what you thought the truth was and what your opinion is, if you go in search of the truth and find that it disagrees with your opinion, don't be an asshole and keep your opinion. Go with the facts, because the facts are what's going to matter at the end. An opinion doesn't mean anything. That's just what people think. I assume, Tanya, you're still talking to me. I know you don't, but I'm pretty sure. But you could. Yeah, I could. I could. But what good am I going to do another city until I've gotten this one? Let me take care of this city. When I have this city full and total, when I know it's doing the right thing, then we can work our way up the chain with police departments and other city governments. But I have a long way to go. All I've done is followed the police around for a little bit. And I haven't done anything that I intended on doing. My audits haven't really shown up yet. So give that time. And uh, Lynn, man, great. Now I learned something. I'm not sure what you learned, but I'm glad that you learned something. It's always good to learn something. My opinion, what is the most corrupt part of this? Man, it's going so fast, I can't even read them. Where'd it go? In my opinion, what is the most corrupt part of the government in your city and county? Well, now I can't answer that yet because I haven't gotten all the paperwork. Once I get all the paperwork, see, here's the thing. I have to find out how much money's coming in. I have to find out how that money's divvied out. I have to figure out where all of that money is going, what agencies, who's getting it, where it's going, and where the extra is going, to make sure that a certain person or certain people's pockets aren't being padded like we all assume that it must be. But rather than assuming that, rolling with that, I want to go get the facts. Once I have that paperwork, once I have those facts in hand, and then I can report it to you. Then I'll be better equipped to answer that question. But I don't really have an opinion as to the most corrupt part of the government in my city and county. I'm just assuming, like most people, that it's government and it's corrupt. But that's an assumption. It's not a fact, and I'm not saying it's a fact, and I'm probably incorrect. I sure was with the Ironton Police Department. I was incorrect about a lot of things that I assumed about them. in the beginning. So now, without assuming about local government and county government, I want to go find all of that out. I might just find that they're doing the right thing too. I don't know that yet. So that's a hard question to answer right now. So I hope I've done the best that I can. There you go. Apparently, Rogue Nation is working on that kind of stuff. Let me get that back up here. I've watched Rogue Nation, but I don't have time to sit around and watch Rogue Nation all the time. I wish I did. Guys, understand that not only am I out there as much as I can be day and night with a camera, I do have my own life. And understand, I was a fix-it guy before I got into this. I work. You know, I don't really work. It's just I help people. I fix stuff for people because I can. Today, all day I worked on more sewer piping and spreading gravel and cutting grass. So know that uh, uh, these things they take up so much time in my day, and time is not my friend. So I wish I could sit around and watch all the auditors that you all do, but I don't. And that's why I don't always know what auditors are doing, you know. So please forgive me if I don't know. But yes, I do know Rogue Nation. I don't know him, but I've seen Rogue Nation, and I'm glad that he's finding what he's finding. And I hope after he finds it, it's not just about reporting it, but I hope that he is able to unite some people and then fix that or put a stop to it or at least slow it down. You know, that's where we all need to be. If we're going to be auditors, you know, then all of us auditors should be banding together to take care of the things that I'm talking about, because just screaming at police on the sidewalk ain't getting it done. And I think the years of auditors have proved that. You know, we need to work our way up the chain in government and change some things. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to work. I understand where you're lying. Best I can tell you, bud, is just don't pay attention to what all they say about you like I do. You have to learn mind over matter. If you learn not to mind, hell, it won't matter. You know, I mean, that's how I am with it. You know, the people that just continuously say crap that I get tired of hearing, you just learn not to mind, so it won't matter because they're going to say it anyway. You know, at some point you just have to ignore them. You know, if it bothers you, just don't ignore. Why did it take chili for me to start doing this? Well, actually, it didn't take. It wasn't only chili. Chili was the final straw that got me into it. Understand that I wanted to be an auditor a long time ago when I used to watch a lot of auditors. My problem was the money. I couldn't come up with that. That $110 he gave me is what allowed it because he agreed. And at the time, he said he would pay my bill every month. You know, so I really thought I'd be sitting on Easy Street and let him pay for it. You know, all of that didn't work out within a week of me starting. But either way, now I just have a big phone bill to pay. But it, you know, it took Chili to get me started because he come up with that $110 that I just didn't have to throw out front. You know, there was no way for me to get that and have that. So that's why Chili, that's why he was instrumental in getting me started, because that $110 got this phone turned on so that I actually could go out with the camera and start. But it wasn't my deciding factor. I would have done it 4 or 5 years ago. I just didn't have the money to buy the cameras and stuff, and I just didn't have it to front. Get an interview with the mayor. That one. Well, I'm not trying to up anybody, but I will be getting interviews with the mayor and with city council. Like I said, we have to do a lot of auditing, so that means we have to talk to each and like I have the Ironton Police Department. I've done ride-alongs. I don't know that you'd call them ride-alongs with the city government, but you know, we'll be riding along with them, so to speak. You know, I want to hear what they have to say for sure. I want to look at the actual numbers. I want to see where the money's going, where it's come from, and hear their opinions about what they are going to do. If they're just going to leave everything the way it is and, you know, and make a career out of sitting there making money, or if they actually have ideas and they're going to implement those for true change. So, you know, we'll be finding all of that out, Maxine. Don't worry. You know, but it's not about upping anybody. I have no reason to be ahead of the curve here. This is just what I want to do. I hope there are others that take this idea and run with it, and maybe they're able to do it faster than me. That's fine. That's fine. I'll help them do it too. You know, I'll do it here, they'll do it there, and someday we'll meet in the middle. We'll be doing it everywhere. Yes, a lot of people have info online for free, and you know, unfortunately, I don't have access to everything, and I don't always know where to find everything. But I'm learning that as I go. And like I said, I've already got a couple instructional videos showing people how to find certain things. But my editor screwed up, and it didn't work out right, and you can't read all the things. So I need to get some software so that I can share a screen and show you all, you know, as I read through it and show you, because it just didn't get big enough on my editor made it like this big in the middle of the. It looks like I'm holding my camera the wrong way when I'm not. So every video that I've edited has done that, and you'll see that in some of the other videos, and that's why I can't, but I will be going over statistics, local statistics. I have all of that. I have it all ready to rock. And I also have an instructional video about how to file for public information requests here in our local area, how to do it, what to do, where to go, all that fun stuff. It's just I don't have the ability to show you right now. I do, but the video is going to be so small, it's going to be useless to you. So as soon as I figure out how to do it correctly, because I want everybody to be on board, I want them to see what I see so that it makes sense. Chili, a bad person can start good things. Like Chili can always be a good person if he wants. Anybody can. You just have to stop doing the dumb shit you're doing today and be better today than you were yesterday. Guys, know that I wasn't always one of the good apples. There are a lot of people that think I'm pretty cool because of some of the things that I fixed for them and not really charge them anything. I fixed a lot of vehicles, not charged a thing. I've done a lot of hard work. It's not about money. If it was about money, I'd have a lot. That's the reason I don't have a lot, because I don't do this for money. I do it to help people. Um, you can stop any, but understand that when I was younger, yeah, there's been times in my life that I was a slimy little asshole. Who hasn't? Who has not been like that at least once in their life? Me, it was more than once, I'll agree. But as I get older, I got a little smarter. I started to pay attention to the world, and I just didn't like myself anymore. So I wanted to be different. I wanted to be better. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. And everybody has that option, no matter how corrupt, no matter what bad things you've done. Even if you have to pay the price for doing that, you can still be better today than you were tomorrow. But unfortunately, that's a personal choice. And each individual person has to make that decision every day, every minute of every day. And if you don't make the decision to be better, then you never will. You'll be the same. That's a great idea, Maxine. Any and all comments that you have that I can that can help me, absolutely. Even if you're afraid of telling me something I already know, hey guys, go ahead and tell me. I'm up for any suggestions that you have. I can't promise that we'll do everything that you say, but if it'll fit with it, and I can get it done and it'll fit within the guidelines and help me achieve what I need, hey, go for it. You guys have to understand, I'm just a naive hillbilly. I don't know everything. I wish I did, but I don't. I'm learning as I go. And as I learn, I want to teach you too, so that all of us are on the same page. And maybe someday we'll have a cookie cutter idea all across the country and the world of how to change things, how to get real change, how to climb up that chain of command from the bottom to the top, like we all have to do. Build a proper foundation at the bottom and work off that and work our way up and work it all the way to global government. That's someday maybe where we're headed. I probably won't live to see any of that. I don't expect to, you know. I expect to have to pass this mantle on to somebody else someday and let them finish the work that I've started. But I definitely want to get it started, and I want to do it right. Yes, Bear Cub, if you could email me that is absolutely awesome. I would appreciate it. And know that here it's free anyway. If you have them send it by email, it's 5 cents a page if they put it on paper. It is $1 per CD or whatever disc. It's $1 per disc, and it's free for email. So yes, but if you can show me a way that I can just bring it up right here on the home PC, and I don't even have to go beg for the information, that's even better. If you can help me out with that, absolutely. Email me and let me know. I'm not ignorant. I don't know, Maxine. I don't know if it's ignorance, but I'm definitely sometimes I'm naive. There's a lot that I don't understand about the world. I hid under my rock so long that a lot of things escape me. And now that I'm entering the world again, I realize that a lot of assumptions I had were wrong, and it makes me very naive. So yeah, I'm not stupid, but I can be incredibly naive and silly. And I'm learning not to do that. I just try to use my silliness for the comedic value. But I'm sure getting a lot smarter, and I'm sure learning how to treat people with a little more respect. Thank you for smoking as much as I do. I'm sorry, guys. If you don't like my smoking, that's too bad. I've been smoking since I was like 9 years old. I'm an idiot. No one should ever start. If you haven't started, please, God, don't, because you'll get to a point like me where you want to quit, kind of, but you won't want to quit bad enough and you won't, and you'll still keep smoking, and then you'll hate yourself because you smoke. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. McKnight is a tyrant. He's a nobody behind the badge. Well, Reggie, I'm not sure how you know. I don't know him personally enough to decide that. I've heard certain things, but I have no proof of those things exactly. I only hear that. And just because you've heard something doesn't necessarily make it true. Now, if you know him personally or know more than I do, hey, that's on you. I have to be honest. I don't know any of these guys personally. I'm only just now learning to know them professionally. I never see them off the bat or off the clock out of their uniforms. So I don't really know these guys at all. Sovereign Soul said, I don't know is the smartest thing a man can say. Sometimes, if you don't know, that's the smartest thing you can say. It's better than assuming what the truth is and then saying that and then finding out that you're wrong and having to apologize, because I hate having to do that. Better to be naive than cynical and twisted. That is true. I would agree. Yes, and everybody must learn from their mistakes. I know I've sure learned from mine. It took me a long time. I'm 48 years old. I'm pushing 50 as hard as I can, and it took me till this point to learn that. Most younger people haven't learned it yet. That's kind of the problem, and it's because we didn't teach them properly. My generation of parents didn't teach properly, and I don't have kids, so but they didn't teach them properly, and that's why they don't know right now. So I'm hoping that people my age and older will finally band together. The old United We Stand idea. Let's get together. Let's make that change. Let's show the generation behind us how to do it, because they don't know. They have no clue of the power they hold just by being themselves. They don't know how to be responsible people because no one's taught them. And I hate to broad brush it because it's not every single person younger than me. That's not true. But a great majority of the kids in our country, they probably have the strongest thumbs of any nation on earth. Hell, all they ever do is text and update their Facebook status to pooping, you know. But I mean, if that's all you're using Facebook for, then you're wasting your time. Everybody talks about how much time they don't have. Well, I don't have time for that. Well, it's because you didn't make time for that. It's not you didn't have time. You just have to be a big boy, put on your big boy pants, and not want to sit around in your chair and be a lazy ass when you think you're tired. Sometimes you just have to take tired and make it work for you too. Make time for the things that you want to do. Don't say that you don't have time. And it takes practice. I'll agree. It's not always easy to stay on the move. If anybody's giving Tina Slay a hard time, stop it. Stop it. Leave her alone. She's had enough hard time from old Chili himself. If you don't believe that, that's because you don't know anything. Don't be in here with your ignorance getting on to Tina. You leave Tina alone. Tina's had enough. And it's up to Tina if she wants to go out against Chili, because he did her and so many other people wrong. I wish all those people would band together to take on Chili. I don't have time to Chili bash, and I don't think I need to, because there's a bunch of other channels out there taking care of it for me. I don't have to worry about it, you know. But I definitely am not going to sit here and allow people to badmouth Tina. I won't do that. Don't do that. Just quit it. You leave her alone. You don't have to agree with her. You don't have to believe her. I don't give a shit. You can have whatever opinion you want, but you keep your opinion to yourself and leave that lady alone. United we stand, divided we fall. We stand together or we do not stand at all. That is a fact, Wendy Donnelly. And the biggest part of that is divided, we've already fallen. That's why we're in the state that we're in. It's time for us to stand back up, we got to get off our dead asses and on our dying feet and start moving. Sitting around talking about it's not going to fix anything. I've been having group sessions with the people I know for the last 5 or 6 years, trying to get people rallied together to go make some real change. You're not going to make real change sitting in a city council meeting giving your opinion, because they don't give a shit. You're going to have to take your power back and change things. Thank you, Sovereign Soul Unchained. When I'm done here, I've got one other phone call that I have to take care of. And as soon as I've done that, I'll try to get up with you. If tonight isn't too late, I'll call you tonight. So if it will be too late, just send me another message there in the chat. If it won't be too late, send me one, and then I'll give you a call tonight. If you're not going to be busy with the live, I don't want to interrupt you or anything, but I definitely would love to speak with you, sir. And I think Anthony's going to call me. I think when this is over, if he has an opportunity. So it might take me a bit, but I will get with you as soon as I can, because you're definitely one of the people I want to speak with. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and many stink. Oh no, I'm sorry, Butch Brady. They all smell like shit. There ain't a butthole out there that don't smell like crap. That's just what it's designed to do. All opinions stink. It's when you've proven an opinion to be a fact and it's no longer opinion. That's when the stink washes off right there. So, that's my opinion anyway. A night owl calls late as well. Awesome. I'll do that, Sovereign Soul. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you more than you know, and we'll have us a talk. Good night, Maxine. I hope you sleep well. Have a good evening. My friendly red coat. Well, you sleep well, and I guess we'll catch you tomorrow. Who's attacking Tina? I'm not sure. It just seemed like she was spending time trying to. I just seen a few comments go by. It seemed like she was trying to defend herself, and I don't want anyone to put her in a position where she has to defend herself, Anthony. So if no one was hating on her, then I'm sorry to everybody, and I have no one to be telling about. So I mean, if that's true, just say so. But it seemed to me like she was trying to defend herself, and I don't think she should ever be put on the defensive. She has no reason to be on the defensive. I see a lot of messages coming up deleted. Now, if they're saying something about me, let them go. They can say whatever they want about me. Go ahead and approve that. Let them say, I don't care. Now, if they're saying something really bad about somebody else in the chat or someone else that's not here, then please delete that shit. Don't let them do that. But if they're speaking about me, they have their free First Amendment. They can say whatever the hell they want about me. I don't care. Hey, Workline, I appreciate you showing up. And yes, sir, I remember that growl. Um, take it easy, sir. Thank you for the microphone, and I hope to see you again soon. You know how to get a hold of me if you need to. John Pearson, I do already have an interview with Chad on my channel. So if you go to my channel and go to the videos tab, you'll find that I had a ride along with him, and I got to interview him. I haven't gotten any more personal interviews with the others yet, but that's just because they've been really busy. And as soon as our schedules link up to where they got a minute, I'll be getting interviews with everybody I've rode with and the people that I haven't. Bone Me 2 was attacking Tina. Well, whoever Bone Me is, they need to quit that. Leave Tina alone. No one needs to be attacking Tina. There's no point. Chili attacked Tina enough. China, I can't even speak. My tongue getting wrapped around my eye teeth. Can't see what I'm saying. Yes, Anthony, she's been through enough. Chili put her through way more than enough. Her son dying should have been too much. And then he come in and just made everything worse. And everybody needs to leave Tina alone. I have a special, special, special part of my heart for her especially. I see strength in that woman where maybe the rest of you don't. So, I think she's an incredibly strong lady and she inspires me and I care about her. So you leave her alone. She's all good in my book. Sovereign said they can say whatever they want about him as well. Yeah, he's like me. We learn mind over matter. We don't mind, so it don't damn matter to us. That's a fact. People can say whatever they like. We don't care. We're going to be doing that, Blue Bear. That's going to be another leg of it. We're going to be not only encouraging people to vote, we're going to be getting them registered, and we're going to be picking candidates. If we decide that we don't like, and again, I don't know yet. We have to get in there and find out who these people are. But if we decide we don't like the people in it, then the best thing to do is to find our own candidates among us. We'll find them. They're out there. There are people worth putting in government. There are people worth leading. So, let's put them into those leadership positions. Let's vote them in, and let's make it such a landslide damn election that it can't be fouled up. That's going to be the only way to get that done. Terry, steak dinner on me when I visit Findlay. Well, I'm not in Findlay, Smitty. So go ahead, have your steak dinner, man. Enjoy it. But I'm nowhere near Findlay. I'm all the way at the bottom of the state. Why not just blow me a 5-minute timeout? If that's necessary, I don't even know how to do that from here. I'll be honest. I don't know if I can on this on the YouTube live because I'm not using streaming software, so it's a little bit different for me. I'm just on a straight YouTube live. I don't have streaming software where I can bring other people in, and I don't have all the other options. And if I do, I don't know how to use them. I'll be honest. I'm almost technologically illiterate. I know how to turn on a computer and watch it, but learning how to use it, but all this streaming stuff is all new to me. So, finding information's easy, but trying to learn this stuff is not easy when I'm not usually here working on this. I'm usually out holding a cell phone, which is nothing like this PC. So, yes, John Pearson, we will be doing that. We have to find those agencies. We have to find the ones that really help the people. Um, I know there's quite a few of them here, and we'll get a compiled list. We'll be doing a lot of that stuff. That's where I think true auditing lies, is in making sure that the people have all the information they need to know where to get the help that they can get and where to fill out all the paperwork, how to do it, all that stuff. We'll be going through all of that. I've tried, like I said, I already have a couple videos I've done like that, but unfortunately, the editing software made the screen so small that you can't read the paperwork that I was trying to show you in it. So as soon as I get some streaming software, as soon as I can pay for some, that I can get some people on the channel and I can share screen and show you the things that you need to see so that it's big enough for you to read, then you'll see that I am doing a lot of that stuff. It's just it's me. I have to do it right, and unfortunately, this particular platform, the only way I'd have to do it is I just have to pick up the piece of paper and show it to the camera, and that's just not going to work so well. So I'll tell you what, guys, if y'all give me just 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Just give me just a quick second. Sorry, guys, I apologize. I drink a lot of coffee and a lot of water, and unfortunately, I have the bladder of like a 2-year-old little boy, so I apologize for leaving you hanging there. Chili's inner circle has been compromised. Stay tuned, says John Pearson. Well, that should be interesting. Terry doesn't make money. Yeah, well, making money is not something I really make on here. I've made a couple dollars today. There's been a few people throw some money in. I've said thanks to all them. I think if I missed a super chat or something that a comment that you've thrown in with money, please remind me of that right now, and I will speak it out. But I think I've said thanks to those that gave. It's greatly appreciated. Again, this isn't a fundraiser. If you give me something, I want it to be because you wanted to, not because I asked. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm going to do what I have to do, whether you pay for it or not. I'm not chilly. I don't need you to pay for a thing. Most of the information that I can get will be absolutely free. I won't have to pay for anything on the regular. Pretty much the only thing that costs me so much is a phone bill and gas, and so far I've been affording that okay. Of course, I'm too poor not to take it if you give it, but know that I'm not out here begging for money. It's I'll take what I can get, but I'm not going to complain and whine and cry like certain others do. I'm not begging for money. Terry, answer about your cousin, please. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Art. I'm not sure which cousin, man. I got hundreds of cousins, so I'm not sure who you're talking about there. So please give me more information as to which cousin.
How we talking about Ed?
Being an alpha male too. Yeah, I don't know about being an alpha male having a lot to do with drinking, but I've drank a lot of water and coffee my whole life, so that's my two favorite drinks. and I don't have to want to be an alpha. I don't have to want anything like that. So the bank auditor, oh, he's not the bank auditor, Art. He's the county auditor. And understand that he's like my second or third cousin. Uh, he was a year or two behind me in school, and we know each other when we see each other, but we're not like that close a family. We don't hang out. We don't have fun. I don't even know his phone number. I don't even know how to get a hold of the guy if I want to. I would have to go to the courthouse just to find him. I don't even, he's not even a friend on Facebook, for crying out loud. So I'm not sure what the question was about my cousin. you know I know there's been some shit in the comments about people accusing me of, and my cousin being the land bank auditor or some shit. I don't know. I don't really care. It's none of my concern. If he's corrupt, we'll find that out when we get to that county level of government. We're going to start with the city, and we'll work our way up to that county. If he's corrupt, we'll prove that. If he's not, we'll prove that. And whether or not he's my cousin is irrelevant. And because I know him, not, because like I said, we're not buddies, but because I've known him his whole life, we did go to school together. And because of the guy I believe him to be, and he may not be, and I'm leaving room for that, but because of the guy I believe him to be, I believe he would agree with me. And I believe he would say, here is everything you need to decide whether I'm on the up and up or not. That's what kind of guy I believe him to be. We'll find that out when we get there. So, I hope that answers about the my cousin, the county auditor. I don't know what else to say about that. I don't really have much information on that. So that's just what everybody else is saying in the comments, and they say all kinds of crap. As Eugene always says, a pair of lips will say anything. So, I like old Eugene. He has a lot of funny sayings too. He's absolutely right about that one. A pair of lips will say anything. I'm not sure who was rude, eating beaver. I hope it wasn't me. Um, Giving her good advice. It must not be me. I don't think I'm a her. Um, Not sure what happened there. I hope you aren't too offended. I hope no one else is. Sometimes offenses come though, and if it's the truth that offends, then you can't be offended by the truth. So, I mean, just relax, people. You don't have to be so thin skinned. Learn how to have a little bit thicker skin. Things won't hurt so much. Oh, it was about Tina. Now I see why people might be getting on him. Now I see why people might be getting on him. Man, you got to understand, we love Tina, and we just don't want anybody to say anything bad to Tina. Um, if it's just advice, I'm sure Tina knows the difference. She's not stupid either. Very, very, very great lady. Because they came here, her and Larry came here, and because they did, Larry Flanoid and Tina Slay, because they came here, Tina Slay Richardson. Let me get the whole name in there. Because they came here, I got to meet them and be with them for a few days, and I've gotten to talk to them on the phone at different times, so I've gotten to know them a bit. And because I know them, and it's not just a video that I seen online, I definitely have a special place for Tina. Tina is a great lady, a very smart lady who was done wrong, and you have to understand she's working on trying to fix that wrong. And all the stuff that's going on with her, and I hate to say it this way, but I'm going to be like Chili for a minute. All the stuff that's going on with her dead kid out there, as everybody likes to say, she's got that well in hand, and she can't report that to you until it's done. Everybody knows that a case during an active investigation can't be talked about. So leave Tina alone. She's doing what she needs to do. Understand that. Let's see, where are we at? Maybe Tina shouldn't attack people. I'm not sure who she's attacking, Tanya. I'm not sure about that. The only person I've ever known her to verbally attack was Chili, or somebody that likes to brag about Chili, and all she does is call out the truth about Chili. So if the truth hurts, then I don't know what to say. But there again, I don't know the whole story about what's going on in the chat. It's hard for me to follow everything. Hello, Courtney Harris. I see you there. If I've missed anybody else, I'm sorry. This chat goes pretty quick, so I've got it slowed down a bit, but it's not helping so much. Um, Tina attacked no one. Well, there again, Debbie, I'm not sure what happened. I was just reading the comments as they fly by, so I'm trying to stay back in there, or trying to stay in there with the chat. It's difficult sometimes. Why don't you give back the camera money from Chili? Well, first of all, that he didn't give me the camera, Sergeant Mummy. You have to understand, when I went and got this phone right here, this is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. When I went and got this phone, Chili gave me $110, $110 only. He did not buy the damn phone. I'm spending $40 a month for the rest of my life to own this phone. So I don't have to give it back. I don't owe him a thing. So I'm not sure why you would think that I do. He gave me $110. And I'm not going to give him back that money because he gave it to me. It was a gift. I don't owe him anything. It wasn't a loan. So you can tell Chili that he can kiss my ass, that he'll get nothing from me. Absolutely nothing. He's done taken thousands of dollars from people all around this country. And you're going to actually ask me that question? Know the facts. Know the facts, or at least ask the facts, and quit assuming that Chili's telling you the truth, because he doesn't. He's a thief and a liar. Know that. You can believe it or not. I don't care. But that's the truth of it. I pay this bill every month. Chili doesn't pay it, and he didn't buy the phone. So I'll be damned if I give him anything back, because he didn't give me anything for me to give it back. That $110, that's it. $110, and I can prove that with a Cash App. That's exactly how he gave me the money, $110. And that was just to get the phone turned on. And that damn sure doesn't pay for $1,000 phone, as everybody says. And this thing is more like $1,400, and I have to spend $40 a month on this damn bill. Probably have to will it to my grandkids in order to pay for the thing. So I don't owe Chili anything, and it really angers me when people ask me dumb questions like that. That's the reason I won't give it back, because it ain't his. He don't get it back. Never was his. It's mine. I pay for it. I bought it. I'm buying it as we speak. It's my phone, my channel. I owe him nothing. I just explained that, Sergeant Mummy. Didn't you hear me? I explained that. He's not going to get the phone back because it's not his. Simple as that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, and go tell Chili all about it. Beyond level motion 2. You're not. I don't know if you're telling a lot of us here things that we don't necessarily already know. As I always say, united we stand, and divided we've already fallen. And the only shot we got is to rise up right now and band together as we the people and take them on. And we probably won't live through it, but we'll never know unless we try. I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to fight and die for freedom. And if you guys are half the patriots that you think you are, then you have to be ready to die for it too. If you're not ready to give your life for it, you're not going to ever accomplish a thing. Freedom only comes when people are willing to die for it. Could I get a business license in the city? I suppose, but I don't own a business. So getting a business license in the city, I don't know what business I would get it for. I'd have to own a business to have a business license. Sergeant Mummy likes to keep asking the same question. Apparently, they aren't smart enough to listen, whoever that is. Why don't Chili just kiss my ass? How about that? Chili can stick that idea of him giving me a phone up his ass, because it's not his phone. So that's why I'm not giving it back. And that's the last time I intend on answering that question. You can put it in there 1,000 more times. That's the last time it's getting answered. It's not his phone. That's why he's not getting it back. And he didn't give me any damn money, and he's not getting that back either. So there you go. Noahide Law to see if you recognize their flag. I will do that. I'm not sure what you're talking about right off, but I will absolutely do that. Because I'm not sure what flag that is, but I will look that up when we're done here. Yeah, you're asking a reasonable question, but I've answered it like 4 or 5 times every time you put it in the chat. How many more times do I have to answer it before you get it through your skull that the question's already been answered? It's been asked and answered. If you don't believe it, just say that and go away. It doesn't really matter. You can believe it or not. That's up to you, Sergeant Mommy. But at some point, you're either going to have to believe what Chili says or what I said. You're about to make your decision. So I've answered the question you've asked. So, turn your damn volume up. I appreciate you, Tinker, too. I appreciate anybody that watches over Tina. You know, not that Tina really needs anybody to watch over her. She's strong enough to take care of herself. Don't think for a second she isn't. You know, very, very strong woman. You know, but if I had the option, I wouldn't let anybody hurt Tina. Of course, I wouldn't let anybody hurt anybody if I can manage to stop it. You know, pain is not something we need to bring to each other. The gay pride flag is in disguise. I'll be checking it out later. You've piqued my interest beyond level motion two. My interest is piqued, as they say. My curiosity is there, so I'll go check it out. I'll see what you're talking about. But I'll be honest, at the moment, I don't know. But I will find out. Get a Is that a pie box? I'm not sure what that means. DG1. Um, I am a media production company. I don't know. I don't know if I qualify as that. I'm not sure, but I'm not in the city. I'm actually out in the county, so I'm not in the city of Ironton. I don't own a place. I don't rent a place in the city of Ironton, so I'm not sure how that would work. It's a possible. I don't. I'm not sure what a pie box is, um, but I will try to look it up if that's correct term. If that's spelled right and it's correct terminology, I'll look it up and see what you're talking about. Sergeant Mummy, I didn't get $1,000. That's where you're wrong. That's what Chili said. That's not what I said. So, you would need to ask me if I ever got $1,000 before you can decide whether or not and how much money that I got. You're speaking lies because Chili told you. That's your problem. You don't know nothing yet. Chili didn't give me a damn $1,000. He's just a liar. That's all there is. He plain straight lied to you and everybody else about it. It's all a big lie. It's all a big grift. It's all a big scam. And you can believe it or not, but that's the truth of it. Flag of the Jewish Autonomous Oblast. I'll be looking into it. I'll find out. A P.O. box. That might be right, Blue Bear. That might be right. Can I base a business license on a P.O. box? And the question is, why would I really want to pay for a business license? Would that make me have a voice in the city council and a voice at the meetings? Is that what you're saying? Would that give me the standing that I need? If so, maybe I can do that. If that's where you're going with that. Like I said, sometimes I'm a little naive and not so smart. So, it takes me a minute to put things together. Presidential seal came off the presidential podium. I didn't know that it had. I have not watched any. I don't watch the president either. I got to be honest. I really don't care what the president says because they're not really in charge of anything. They're just talking heads. The people in charge are the ones sitting back with the money. It's not the people that you see. So know that. And that doesn't matter which part of government you're talking about. Most of them are just there as talking heads. Don't like the president either. It don't matter if you like him or not. It is who it is. So right now we have to deal with it. And until we, the people, rise up and do something about it, it's going to be like it was. So if you believe the election was fair, then hey, do nothing. If you don't believe the election is fair, quit waiting on somebody else to prove it. Let's all band together and find out whether or not it was an accurate election, and then make it work the way we want it. But as long as we, the people, are lazy and just sit back and watch that damn TV and expect something to change, we're going to get exactly what we've got. That is a fact. Prove me wrong. Good luck. I agree with eating beaver. Don't block everybody just because they're full of shit. Hey, let them be full of shit. We don't care. Um, as long as they're not being violent, and saying too bad things about other people, let them say whatever they want to say. I want this channel to be that. Everybody can say whatever the hell they want. I don't, and if they're talking about me specifically, let it rock. Let them say anything they want in any language they like. I don't mind. I mean, now, if you're just going to get on here like some other ones and under every single video just put how I'm a snitch and a rat, at least come up with something better and original. If you're going to insult me, damn it, work a little harder for it. Get my attention, because that stuff just gets old and boring and no one cares what you say anyway. You know, There you go, beyond level motion 2. You are exactly correct with that comment. Government is like cancer. It needs to divide and grow. If we stop falling for the divides, we can control the cancer. Hearts and minds, everything else is false tags. There you go. That's what we need to change. We need to change the hearts and the minds of the people. That's what we need to change. You can't change anything else until you change yourself. Once you've changed yourself, you have the opportunity to lead by example and show other people how to change. Once enough people have changed their hearts and minds, they will stand together, and enough hearts and minds changed will lead this country. That's a fact. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it is that easy. That's what it's going to take. No, Tinker 2, I do not have a post office box. I live out in the country, and I have a mailbox on the side of the road. That's what I have. It's a rural route. I live out in the country. I don't live in Ironton. So, no, I do not have a post office box. I'm not sure what they said either, Eaton Beaver. I must have missed it too. Somebody was talking. It wasn't you that they were talking about, though, that said something bad. It wasn't you they were talking about. It was, I can't remember the name they said, but somebody else was the one they were talking about saying something bad to Tina. It wasn't you, Eaton Beaver, as far as I know. I agree, Butch Brady. Um, you know, like Larry Flanoid said, fuck your race, fuck your religion, fuck all that stuff. It's not about that. It's about we the people standing together. We can argue about all that small stuff that makes us different once we're done facing the real enemy. First of all, people need to identify who the enemy is, and then we need to band together and work and fight against that. That's what we need to do. This squabbling amongst ourselves, hell, we can do that anytime. We can do that on our off time. There's always plenty of time to bitch at each other. But what we need to do are find the common ground that we have and stand on that. That's what we need to do. And it doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from. None of that matters. Doesn't make any difference what color, what sex, what your sexual orientation is. None of that stuff matters when it comes to we the people, because we are all we the people, every single one of us. I agree with you, Star 17. Unless it's rude or disrespectful to me, and you can let that fly. I don't mind them being rude or disrespectful to me. They're free to say whatever they want about me. Other people, I wish they'd take it a little bit easy on each other. I don't care what people say, but try not to say things that you just know you shouldn't say. There's no need to turn this into a fight against each other. It's not about that. We're trying to unite people here, not find reasons to divide. Why the hell am I riding with the police? And also, I seem to be very friendly with them. Well, let me ask you this. Why the hell not ride with the police? And why do I have a reason not to be friendly with them? I guess is the first question I would ask you, KRSA. They've not been rude to me. They've not been rude to the people that they pulled over. They've not violated any rights while I've been on scene, even if you think they have. It's not happened. So my question is, why would I not? And it's not me being friendly. It's just me being cordial. Understand the difference. I have no reason to hate them. I'm not going to hate them for no reason. That's what you say, beyond level motion 2. I can't confirm or deny that. I know that some people believe that to be a fact. I cannot confirm or deny that, though I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know if it's every single station, but it might be soon. There might be enough to where it's working that way. I don't know. So anything's possible. Um, I've learned not to discount, not to discredit anything before I've actually learned something about it. I just don't know exactly what you're talking about yet. I've heard a little, but again, I'm out so much, I don't really have time to spend as much time researching all the things I'd like to. So if you have links to that information, or if you have that information, email me, send it to me. It'd make it easier so I don't have to go out and try to research and find everything that I need to learn. It's easier because then I can just go look when I have a little bit of time, because time is not my friend. I spend most of my time not behind this camera out doing something else. So I don't just get to sit here and stay online all day. I wish I did, but I don't. What ticked Terry off so much? Lisa, I'm not really ticked off. Just a couple things that I have to handle. And a lot of times my passion gets mistaken for anger. I'm not really angry, but I am very passionate. I've never been more passionate about anything in my life. Stop riding with my friends. Hey, stop watching if it bothers you. Is the best I can tell you. If you don't like to watch me ride with the police, just quit watching because I'm going to ride with them a whole lot more. I'm going to ride with every one of them that'll let me ride with them. I'm not doing it to entertain you, and it has nothing to do with you. Um, just because they're not my friends doesn't mean they're not my enemy, or it doesn't mean they're my enemies. You know, not being friends does not make one enemies with another. So understand that. You got to identify the enemy, and they're not my enemies. They're not your enemies either. Just saying. Google was lovely when you're pooping. Hello, Larry. How you doing? It's good to see you here, man. Good to see you. I'm glad you showed up and seen a little bit here. Chili trained at the Lion's Den. He is awesome, says Leducator. Right? Well, it might be cited, and you can give me headlines all day. I'm just saying I don't have the ability to confirm or deny it. I haven't seen it, so I'm not arguing with you, and I'm not saying you're not correct. I'm saying that I personally don't know. It's not that I don't want to believe you. It's just that I've learned not to believe anything just because someone said so. You know, it's a common fact that if you start the sentence with scientists believe that dot dot dot, anything you say after that, people will just believe, and they won't even go check it for themselves. Hell, they'll just believe it because you said so. So I've learned not to do that, and I've learned not to jump too far out on a limb and necessarily go balls to the wall about certain things. So it's not that I don't necessarily believe you, it's just that I can't agree because I don't hold that proof in my hands, and I that's an area that I haven't studied into personally. So it's just something that I personally am ignorant of. I don't know anything about that. Hello, Kafar. Good to see you. Glad to see you showed up. How you doing? Oh, Larry, I'm all right. I'm having a talk with some people here. Um, jump on in if you want. I'm trying to keep up with this chat. It's very hard to do. They're going by pretty quick. So does seem like a lot of drama and sensitive people here. Yeah, people have too thin a skin. That's the problem. People are always too worried about their feelings, and they think their feelings are the most important thing, and they don't understand their feelings are the least important thing. Anytime you get your emotions involved, it makes you stupid. You do things and emotionally react rather than logically reacting. And later that's why you look back at a situation and go, man, I should have handled that different. Well, it's because you let emotion get involved. Not that you can't feel emotion, because you will feel emotion, but you have to learn how to control the emotion instead of allowing emotion to dictate your next move or words. I intend to be on level motion. I intend to. I intend to take a look at all that you said. Like I said, if you could send me links, if you have them readily available and it's easy for you, just email them to me. If not, I will look at it whenever I have time. Like I said, time is not my friend, and I have a lot of irons in the fire. And we're going to have a lot more of them going, because we're going to start doing, while I'm thinking about it, we're going to start doing a lot of trying to raise money for St. Jude. So if you have the money and you want to donate, please send it to St. Jude. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's spend the rest of this month talking about St. Jude. Let's send them every single dime that we can send them, since that's what Chili and Leducator were all about. Let's do that. Let's make this a badass story, even if there ends up being no fight whatsoever. Let's make sure that St. Jude's gets the money that they were due. Let's do that. It's a worthwhile event. Everybody loves St. Jude's. They love the kids. Let's do that. The kids are the most important thing anyway. So let's make that happen. I agree completely. That's what we need to do. Well, I appreciate it, Kafar. Um, I hope you had a good dinner. I haven't had mine yet, so hopefully you had a pretty good one. Um, I ate a little bit this morning. A lady that I was working for made me some eggs and potatoes, so I did have a little bit, but I still haven't eaten my dinner for sure. That was a lot earlier. I intend on scarfing some food soon, but I appreciate you getting on here, man. Butch Brady, that's about a good comment there. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to let everybody read it for themselves, but you know an email to contact me, Beyond Level Motion. I'll tell everybody right now. It's irontonauditor@gmail.com. IrontonAuditor, irontonauditor@gmail.com. Everybody can reach me there. So if you have something you want to say, comments you want to make, if you have links you want to send, it's hard for me to get to everything, but I do read them all. And if I can, I will get back to you. It might take me a couple days, guys. Notice I'm really busy, but I will do the very best I can to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I think most people realize I'm back to them pretty quick, so I try. A common law justice of the peace. I'm not sure what that means, Auditron. Um, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Um, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not exactly sure what I have to admit I'm not even positive by the definition what a justice of the peace is. I just know that when I was a kid, people talked about they could marry you. So I'm not exactly sure what a justice of the peace really is. I don't even know if we still have one and where to find them if we do. I don't know everything. So love the way I answered questions. Uh, I'm not sure if you're talking to me, Larry, but I do my best to answer questions as best I can. And handling the hate, you just have to learn that, like I tell everybody else, it's called mind over matter. If you don't mind, it won't matter. People are going to hate you whether you do good or whether you're going to do bad, and they're going to hate you either way, and that's okay. You have to leave room for them. Some people don't know how to do anything but hate. You don't want to take their only job away from them. You want to make sure they have something to do too. You don't want them to feel completely useless. So sometimes that's all certain people can do. No, I didn't see that Fauci had that. uh, anyway, um, that is kind of funny though. Beyond level there, I like that. That was funny. Somebody I seen thank Chad for letting me ride with his men. Um, Not only did he allow me to ride with him, but I had to actually go through the chief of police to do that. I had to fill out paperwork. I had to agree to certain terms and conditions. And of course, you have to have a background check, to be in a police car. So I had to go through all of that and get her permission.
Common laws if you've been together for so long.
That's not what we're talking about.
Okay.
Um, So anyway, thank you, Legicator, for letting me ride with you. Of course, I know I've already thanked you, and hopefully we get a chance to do it again someday. Um, that Captain Chad is so charming. uh, yeah, he can be. I tell you what, it can also be inspirational. I think he's just a few years my junior. Just a few. I'm 48. I think he clocks in somewhere about 5 years younger than me. Um, so it is kind of inspirational to watch him train so hard, to know that he's working so hard for such a good cause. You know, I want, uh, I want him to know that he inspires me to make me a better person. He gives me a little bit more energy than normally I would have had. So don't need a background check. What does it say? Don't need a background check if you're a criminal. Well, if you're a criminal and they find out, I don't know what kinds of crimes would keep you from riding along with the cops, but I guess you'll have to go in and have your own done to find out if they give you the okay or not. I'm not sure how all that works. I don't have a habit of breaking the law, so my background comes back pretty clean. There ain't much on it. If we accidentally kill you, promise you won't be mad. If you're talking about me, I'm not scared. The one thing that I'm not worried about is losing my life. I agree fully to give my life for this cause and for each and every one of you, and the rights to do what you do every day. Even if we disagree, you have the right to disagree. You have the right to hate me. You have the right to talk about me any way you want. And I will die for your right the same as I will anybody else's. I don't mind to put my life on the line. I've already done that. I did it when I joined the military, although I was never forced to actually put my life on the line. It was just my signature on the line. And because I never got to uphold my oath when I was in the military, that's what I'm trying to do out on the streets right now. So know that that's what I'm working on. Talking about the paperwork police made me sign. Yeah, well, in order to get the ride-alongs. Yeah, guys have to understand when you sign a piece of paper or you sign a contract, it's not really ensuring your rights. It's ensuring the rights and taking yours away. Whoever wrote up that paper, it's normally wrote in their favor, you know. But it wasn't so bad. Basically, the one main thing is I can't carry my weapon for obvious reasons because that makes it dangerous for the police. Um, I can't get out of the vehicle because that could put me in a dangerous situation, which I've already been in. But when I'm under my own control and I'm responsible for my own protection and my own uh, when I'm out by myself, me and Eugene, we're responsible for ourselves. The police are not responsible for my safety. They're responsible for public safety. And I'm sure if I was under attack, they would help. But it's not their job to protect me. I have to protect myself. But when I'm with them and I'm in their vehicle and they have disarmed me, they have taken any means of my personal protection away. And so, in order to stop me from getting out of the car and being hurt if the bullets start flying, which technically could happen at any time, it usually doesn't, I agree. But it could happen at any time, as we learned here just a few nights back. Anything is possible. And because of that, the only way they can ensure me to be as protected as I can be is making sure that I stay in the vehicle. And because that is an agreement to do the ride alongs, I agreed. Because if I don't do that, then I won't be able to do the ride alongs. And the ride alongs aren't to get you the best view of what's going on. The ride alongs are to get me in there so that I can get to know these officers on a more professional and personal level. I get to see it from their point of view, and not to mention it's kind of fun to ride lights and sirens. I'll agree, I kind of like it. It's fun to speed through town because when I'm following them, I can't. I still have to follow the speed limit, even though they're lights and sirens. So it's kind of fun to do that. But they have to protect me since they allow me in their vehicles. That makes it their job then. Uh, when I'm outside of their vehicle, it's not necessarily their job. So that's the reason that I signed. That's the reason that I agreed, and that's the reason those rules are in place. Is so that everybody gets to feel protected, so that they feel safe. They feel safe that I can't hurt them, and they know that I'm safe because they haven't let me out into a dangerous or bad situation. Don't know how much authority I can wield. Well, that depends on what authority and where you're talking about. You know, I know how much authority we the people have. I know how much authority I have as a single citizen. However, there are some times when authorities meet, that one must give a little in order to get certain perks. So that's kind of the point, at least with the ride along thing, Alatron. I agree with you, Lisa. That statement is correct. On my own, the advantage is getting up close and in their business. The advantage of the riding along is I get to all the stops that happen because it is a small town. It don't take long to drive the whole town. So, we can get to, as long as they last more than a couple minutes, we can get to them. And so I get a kind of a point of view of what's going on. But what I really wanted was more of those personal interviews. Those are coming. Just know that they get busy and they have other things to do too, and they don't always have time just to stand in front of a camera and talk. The captain's a little bit lucky because he's a captain. Know that the higher you are in the ranks, the less physical work you do sometimes. So you might have a couple extra minutes that you can spare where some of the other officers maybe haven't. you know, and maybe I can, interview some of them in their vehicles, but with the computer and other things that are in the vehicles, it's just been a little bit more difficult. And there are certain things that we don't want to show. And I really don't want to bring the footage home and try to edit so much because I really suck at it and it takes me too long a time and my editing software is crap. So I really just try to get those videos out there in the field. So know that the personal interviews, the more of them are coming. With all I've ridden with 4 officers so far. I just haven't gotten those personal interviews, and I haven't gotten stops with all of them because sometimes they just don't happen. You know, Unfortunately, some nights I go and there isn't a single stop. Usually, most nights I go and there isn't any. My friend's close and my enemy's toaster. That may be true. If closer is what you meant, if toaster's just the funniness, I have to admit, for the moment, I don't see them as my enemies. What I'm working on is trying to see whether or not we can be allies. Um, if they and I can be allies, then we, the people, and them can be allies. And wouldn't it be much better to turn the cops who you might see as your enemies into your allies? Wouldn't that be much better? Wouldn't you rather have them on your side? I know I would. And so that's what I'm working on. If we can see clear enough to where we can be united, and then the rest of the people can stand with me, and the police are able to stand with me, at least on the things we agree with, now we have even more, we have even more power and authority behind us. The more, you start at the bottom and work your way up. That might be true, Eaton Beaver, but I have not yet found where they're on their worst behavior, so far. And it's just what I've seen. So what I've seen, I have to assume is the norm. Um, I would assume that just because I'm there doesn't cause them to act any different. I assume they act the same whether I'm there or not, because I pulled up on a lot of stops where they turn off their lights and take off, and the other people got to go, and it wasn't no big deal. That means that most of the stops that happen are just kind of a warning. Hey, this, that, or the other. Have a good night. You know. So you guys just don't get to see that because there's no point in putting up less than a 30-second video. There's no point in even showing you that. Maybe I should try to keep track of those and tell you, like, do a short at the end of the night or something, and tell you how many stops I didn't make. But there again, since you don't have it on camera, it's just me saying so, and that's why I don't do that, is so that people can't again try to say that I'm defending the police or trying to make them look good, because I don't try to make them look anyway. Educator knows, ask him. I don't try to make them look anyway. I give them the opportunity to fuck up. If they do, I'll call them on it. That's completely up to them. But if they do it right, then I have no reason to say anything. Then they're doing it right. Controlled opposition, they will sucker me in. They can't sucker me in beyond level because I'm not a sucker. That's the difference. Chile tried to sucker me in too, but I'm not a sucker. So, I would have to allow them to sucker me, and I'm a little smarter than that. I might be a little naive, but, as I always say, I'm some dumb, but I'm not plumb dumb. So they won't be able to sucker me into anything. Part of something bigger than I can see. I don't know if it's bigger than I can see. It might just be bigger than I've told you that I see, and it's because I don't want to get too far ahead of where we're at. I want to start small and work bigger. My first job was to make sure that the law enforcement in Ironton weren't the tyrants that I've heard about, that they really weren't out beating people up and tasing them all the time and violating all their rights, as I've heard. And that may have happened before I got there. I can't attest to that, but I haven't seen it, and it's not happening while I'm there, and it hasn't happened since I've been there. And no one's complaining to me about it right now, you know. So I'm sure if that were happening, somebody'd be letting me know, you know. Why they won't let me get out of the car? Hey, there may be a lot of reasons they won't let me get out of the car, but that's okay. I don't ride with them all the time. Usually I'm out on the sidewalk. I ride with them for a different reason. But anyway, starting with the police, that was just my start. I believe an auditor should learn how to. Um, I believe auditors should learn how to audit something other than a traffic stop. Because the traffic stops really aren't our problem, and we can even change those laws and ordinances, but we can't do it from the sidewalk, and you can't do it with the police. The police can't change a thing. They're always going to do what they're trained to do, and they're always going to follow the rules that they think they have to follow and enforce the laws that they have to enforce. That's not going to be an option for them because that is their job. So what we need to do is stand together as the people. The way we do that is we start small, just like we're doing right here. We start banding together. The more we have together, the bigger of a voice we have. Once we get a big enough voice, then bigger government has to raise an eyebrow. They no longer have a choice. All pigs are tyrants, dude. That's not true at all. That's a total assumption. I don't know anything about a pedo, and it's not my beloved department. I'm sorry, it's nothing like that. I live out in the county. I don't even have to deal with these guys. I do it by choice, not because I have to. Um, and you can't paint them like that, man. That's saying like you're a tyrant because you're on YouTube. All YouTubers are tyrants because one of them might be. That's just crap. You can't broad brush every cop out there that way. You just can't do it. To stop licking boots, and come to those that enslave us. I'm not sure what you're even talking about there. I guess you're talking to Butch Brady, not to me. I'm not sure what's going on there. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to jump into a conversation that wasn't mine. I apologize. Right, Montauk Tom. That it's about liability. It's about them not being able to protect me, and it just keeps me safer, and that's the point of keeping me in the vehicle. The biggest is for my safety, so that they're not put at blame if something happens to me. Which officer is the funniest? I don't know. I haven't decided yet, Lisa. Sergeant Spaljeric, after him, if you haven't watched the one where he runs from IA, you should go watch that. He's kind of a goob. I like him. He makes me laugh. It's not the first time that they've done that. That might be the first time I've caught it on camera. I don't know. But he's always doing something crazy. So, he makes me laugh a lot. Spaljeric is a predator, dude. I can't prove that. If you can prove it, I dare you to put the proof in here because I can't prove that. And if you're talking about the deputy, then that's not the same as the one I'm talking about. So first know which Spaljeric you're talking about for sure. And then if you have proof of the claims you're making, then bring the proof. If you don't, then quit making the claims because it's just a claim. Your opinion doesn't matter. If you have truth to back it up, then it's not your opinion and it's fact. And if you have fact to prove it, I will act on that. I promise you I will. And I guarantee you that Captain Chad will help me. However, I don't know that that's true. Blah, blah said they were banned from commenting and then retracted it. I'm not sure what that was about. I agree with you, Bear Cub. Be glad they're not the Nazi Party because they're nothing like the Nazi Party, and this sure as hell isn't Germany. And we better get together and change shit before it becomes Germany because it's on a fast track right now becoming that. But if we don't, we got to get together and stop that. What's really funny beyond level is I had actually said that about Chili. It was kind of funny because the very first night I met him, my neighbor asked me, she said, "So what do you think about him?" And I said, "Well, there's so many different things that could be as to why he's here. He could be an absolute CIA plant just to bring patriots like me out of the woodwork just to see who we are and where we're at. So that is a serious possibility. I do not doubt that. That is a serious possibility, but know that I'm not one of those. I'm definitely not a psyop. I'm working for the real change here. So if they want to stop me, they're going to have to kill me because that's going to be the only way that's going to happen. I won't, I won't quit doing this any other way. you know it seems like I am having an effect. It seems like people really do, for the most part, people really do want change. They want to band together. I'm just giving it a platform, being able to speak that so that other people can too. And thanks to Chile, it allowed us to come together. So maybe we can be monitored more, but who gives a shit? It's not like you weren't monitored anyway. You're monitored anyway, one way or another. That cell phone just keeps you on tag all the time. And if you think it don't, then you're not thinking correctly. And so we're always monitored anyway. And I reckon I don't really care what they monitor me about. There's nothing they can hold over my head. Um, I don't have any children. My family, really can't be put in danger. There's really nothing they can hold over my head. The only thing they can do is kill me, and I'm just not worried about that. So, hell, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think I'm important enough to want to kill. I just don't think I'm that important on anybody's list. Although I am important enough to get a few threats. So, I must be getting big time now. I'm getting famous because I'm starting to get some of the real threats in the comments. So, something's working. Um, you may be correct beyond level. As a matter of fact, the guy that rides with me, Eugene, he's absolutely 1,000% that Chili's a cop or has been. He's been saying it the whole time. You know, no, blah blah. That's not true at all. And if you think it is, that's just because you don't know anything. It's not what I want to exist. What exists exists, and you can't change it unless you use the system that you have. I mean, if you just want to go guns a-blazing, go ahead. We'll see how far you make it. But I know that that won't go too far. We the people can stop things, but we the people have to do it. I don't have Stockholm syndrome about police. That's just a goober thing to say. It's not true at all. That's just you wanting to say some shit right there. That's because you don't know no better. You know, you need to learn a little bit better. You need to get out with the police I'm out with and make your own decision instead of being behind a keyboard and deciding what you're trying to decide because you think you have preconceived notions.
Share, subscribe.
You're picking up on here, by the way. If you don't want to be heard, just saying. If you do want to be heard, go ahead. I don't mind, but. That's right, 17. I asked to let the comments roll. People can say whatever they want to about me. I don't mind. It's okay. I agree with you, Tinker, too. Words can affect people, and you shouldn't say things unless you have the proof. That's why I told him to, if you believe what you're saying is true, then bring the truth. Otherwise, just be the hell quiet because no one really cares about your opinion anyway. I'm not telling you that you don't beyond level. I tell you what, you shoot me an email and maybe after, I figure out what's going on here, I maybe even throw you a phone number, maybe we can talk. It's sure a lot easier to talk than it is to type. And, maybe you can inform me about some of the things you're talking about. I don't have that kind of experience and I don't know what you obviously know. I do agree that there was definitely co-pro intel and I know that it's out there everywhere, but I don't know who to trust and who not to. I'll be honest. You could be one of those yourself for that matter. I wouldn't have any clue, you know. I'll freely admit I'm a bit naive. I don't know always what to think about people. I try to take them at face value until I realize that I can't. That's what happened with Chile. I took them at face value until I found out I couldn't. I don't know, Lisa. There may not be that may or may not be true. Chile may be a lot of things. Who knows? I can't say for sure, but I can say that he is definitely a thief and a liar as he looks. Anyway, that's my opinion. Whether or not he was ever part of the military, I don't know, but I know he has been accused of being a law enforcement officer at some point, or at least trained as one. Do I want government to exist? Well, no, not really, but it does exist. So how are you going to get rid of it? You're just going to tell them to go the fuck home and quit? Because I don't think they're going to do it. You know, if government exists constitutionally, where we the people have the power and we the people make all the decisions, then sure, government's not so bad. But the problem is we've become a democracy where 51% of the people control 49%, and that's not how the republic was originally supposed to be. So the problem is while our grandparents slept, they took over, and we're dealing with the fallout. That is, if America ever was, and I don't think it was. Hell, they done stole all of our gold. I mean, I know a lot more than I can tell everybody, and I know government's full of shit, but right now it's what we've got, and we have to deal with it. So it's not about whether I like it or whether I don't. It's irrelevant what I like and what I want. The only way we can affect change is by becoming united. We have to become united. United we stand. We, the people, have to stand together. If we don't want government, the only way we're going to take it out is when we all stand together. If we want to change things about that government and keep it, we still have to stand together to do it. So what I'm trying to do is still the way to do it. It doesn't matter what people's opinions of whether or not there should or shouldn't be government. There already is. They're not going to walk away just because we don't think they should, you know? I hope that helps. I hope I was able to answer that to the Sorry, guys, this is going pretty good now. Right, saying government is full of shit is not necessarily going to fix it. That's for damn sure, Autotron. That's not going to be the way to fix it. Even if they are full of shit. I mean, just saying so isn't going to make the difference. So, whether or not we like it, it's what we've got. It's what was given to us. It's not what we asked for, I don't think, because we were all born into this. It's not like we signed the Declaration of Independence and wrote the damn Constitution, and we sure haven't had control of everything. So, it's what we were born into. So if we're going to change it, let's get together and change it. If we don't care, then just quit commenting about it. It don't really matter. You can hate government all you want. You can love government. I don't care. But both people need to stand together, the ones that hate it and the ones that love it, because the only way any change will come is when we all finally agree on at least one thing. We got to find that common ground that keeps us together. You are correct, uh, beyond level. The only way we're going to get to that point is we have to get together, and then we're going to fight it out at the end. If you believe biblically, we won't win the fight in the short term. In the long term, we do. If you're not biblical, then hey, take it for what it means to you. But we are sure coming to the point where it's going to be global government against global citizenry. It kind of already is. If you don't see that yet, you're just not looking around good enough. But take a look. You know, licking boots doesn't fix anything. Well, who's licking the boots? Blah blah. I haven't licked any boots at all. I'm making allies in the world. If you go around and make everybody your enemies, you ain't gonna get very far at all. Maybe you ought to learn how to make allies. Instead of worried about whether or not you're perceived as licking boots, because your perception, I don't really care about. I'll be honest. Most people's opinions, I don't care what they think of me. And the reason is because what they think doesn't change my life one bit or another. The people that know me know better, and the people that don't know me, I don't give two shits what they think about me. It doesn't matter. Doesn't change my life one bit. That's why I don't cry over the comments. It doesn't matter to me. I'll try to explain where I can, but I won't be put into a situation where I feel like I have to really defend myself, because I don't need to. I just don't need to. Like I said, the people that know me know better, and the people that don't know me, it doesn't matter what they think, because it doesn't. They're not close to me, and they don't change my lives. I agree with Smitty there. Term limits would definitely change attitudes in bank accounts, but we have to work somewhere to get that. We ain't going to have it till we stand together. We've got to stand together to change all of that, because they keep changing everything to suit themselves. So the only way we can change that is by getting together and we the people standing up and stopping it. You know, Storming the Capitol isn't exactly how to get it done, but once we get enough people together, we'll be able to fix it all. Blah blah, you don't even know what you're talking about. Sorry to tell you, you're just flapping your gums. You don't know anything. I wish you did. I wish you had sense enough to know the facts before you say stuff like that. But unfortunately, you can believe whatever you want, and if it bothers you so much, why are you still here? Do you think you're going to change my mind? Do you think at some point I'm going to go, you know what, you're right, I'm a bootlicker? Well, you're wrong. That day's never coming, so you're not going to convince me. You're free to say whatever you want, but you're just wasting your time. And I don't think too many people in the chat give a damn what you say either. It's kind of funny how they all take up for me, and I don't even need to. I found that a lot in my comments too. So there are more people sticking with me than people like you who are against me. So the best thing you can do is to unite with us instead of trying to divide us, because it won't work. In case you can't see, they're starting to stand with me. If you were smart, you'll do that too. Just saying. Don't be on the wrong side of the people. It's a bad idea. Uh, there's a lot of that stuff going on TV. I don't watch any TV at all beyond level. I watch zero TV. I do not even turn my head in that direction. I do not watch TV. I do not watch the news. I get my news from online. I go hunt it myself. I do not listen to mainstream media, and I sure as hell do not watch the WWE or anything else that they put on that TV. That is the largest weapon of mass destruction right there. It's done killed the minds of millions of people, billions of people all around the world. A justice of the peace is from the local community. Okay. Again, I'll be honest, I'm not sure what, I don't even know if we actually have one. If we do, I wouldn't know who it would be, or if that power is given to a particular government official these days. I really don't know. I know they used to have them. And I'm not sure I understand the Cena comment, um, as you put it there. Again, these are things that are beyond level. I'll try to check into some of that stuff. You see his catchphrase. That's a possibility. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this chat so much and stay up with everybody, so it's hard for me to stop and think about some of the things you're saying. When I have time to stop and consider some of the things, then maybe I'll get what you're trying to say to me. You're right, blah blah. The people are brainwashed slaves. But if you want to stop that, then stop trying to divide us and insult us, and try to find a way to get through to them. You bitching about it ain't going to make any difference. You can me names is obviously not affecting anybody in here. In case you can't see that, that's not going to work. You don't go out and tell people how much of an asshole they are, and then demand that they see things your way, because that's not it's just not how it's going to happen, man. I've already proven that beyond the shadow of a doubt. If you watch all my videos, you'll see that to be a fact, not an opinion. So anyway, I'll leave that where it's at. Yes, I know about backmasking, and playing things backwards beyond level. I got into that a few years back. I wish I knew more about it, because a lot of things I've just kind of brushed the surface of, and I don't have. I wish I had 100 years of my life just to devote things I'd love to learn. But I'm so busy in my off time that I really don't have as much time to read about things as I wish I did. So, um, Cena backwards as Nazi, I don't know. That's a possibility. Like I said, I'll be looking into some of these things you said. Don't think that I won't. It's going to take me time, but I'll be looking. And if you can email me, do that. We'll get together on some of it. I promise you we will. It's the chat all about blah. Well, apparently it is star 17. He tried to make it all about him, so that seems to be what a lot of people do. You know, it's not like my feelings are hurt. I don't care. The only people you can call blah blah is other people. You got to find like-minded people, and you're not going to find them by being an asshole and calling names. You know, even if you were like-minded with somebody, you'll never know, because you're too busy calling people bootlickers. You obviously don't understand that I'm there with you. You have no clue, because you're just so angry, and you don't even know who the hell the enemy is. You think it's me, and that's because you haven't had enough sense to watch and listen yet. You know, they're not your enemies. They can be turned to your allies. They're already my allies in certain things. I've already taken care of this. The local police here are not so bad. You've been led to believe that, but that doesn't seem to be true. I can't say it 100% positive, but it sure as hell doesn't seem to be true from where I'm sitting. You know, and if we can make them allies, why wouldn't we want to? Why would we want to hate them because they do their job? Let's change their opinion of we the people, so that they'll stand with us, and then they'll do what's morally right, regardless of what their job demands. And that's a fact, just like we will. But insulting people is not the way to go. It won't work that way. If you haven't figured it out yet, you should have, just in this chat in the last few minutes. That's great, beyond level. Take your time. It's going to take me time to go through that information. It's going to take me time too. I get it. So, take your time. I'm in no hurry for anything. Whatever, blah blah. You wouldn't know anything about the local police, evidently. Do you live here? Answer me this question, blah blah. Do you live here? I don't know about that, Paul. I've been out there with them. You know, have you been? Maybe you should come out with me and check them out. Maybe you should do that. You might have a differing opinion. You wouldn't know till you get out there, though. You can't just sit back and assume a lot of things, because a lot of the things that you think you know about them are absolute assumptions at this point. The only reason I speak differently about it is because I'm out there with them, and I know a little bit more truth about certain things than other people do. So, Paul, if you want to know, come out with us. You'll find out. And if you can find all this trash you're talking about, help me shovel it to the dump. Show it to me, and I'll help you shovel it to the dump. That's a fact. Okay, guys, it looks like you've all calmed down talking to me, so, you know. The only problem with that, Paul, is that I've been out there, man, and I don't see any rights getting violated. It doesn't matter whether one has stopped the other. No one's done it. And yes, as a matter of fact, there was a comment here a while back or under one of my videos where somebody said that um, Brandon Blankenship is the only officer in Ironton, and as he put it, he respects the shit out of him because he de-escalated with another officer on a traffic scene that he was stopped on. So you see, the people are talking a lot higher about him than you are. So you have to understand that the only way they would stop somebody from doing it is if it was actually happening, and it's not happened on my camera. It's not happened in front of me on any stop or anything that I've been on. And a lot of calls I haven't filmed. There's some domestic violence. There's been suicides and overdoses, things like that. I'm not putting that shit on my camera. Those people don't deserve that, and I'm not going to out them and put their faces all over YouTube about it. But I was on scene, so I do know a little bit more than the average person who hasn't been there. So my best advice is to get out in the city and find out for yourself instead of assuming.
Ed's on there.
I'm not ignoring anything, blah, blah. I'm telling you that you're wasting your goddamn time whining about it in my chat. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to change it, blah, blah? How are you going to change it? Do you have any clue even how to do anything other than type on a keyboard? That's my question. Because you see, I'm trying to unite people. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to unite people. If you want to be united, then do that. If you don't, then get the hell out. Go find someone else's channel to agree with. You know, your opinion is irrelevant. What we need to do is find the facts and deal with that. Am I going to run for public office? That's not my plan. I do not feel qualified for such a thing, and I wouldn't even know what office to run for. Again, I don't live in the city, so I definitely couldn't hold anything in city government. Maybe the county or the state, but I wouldn't know of anything that I'd even be remotely qualified to do. I don't consider myself qualified for any of that kind of stuff. Um, I'm not trying to do any of that. What I'm trying to do is get enough people together to where we can find those people that are worth putting in those positions. So I don't necessarily want to run for public office, but I do want to find the candidates that we the people can back. That's what I want to do. That's a possibility, Paul. Like I said, man, I come out with a camera with me, and we can both keep them from doing it to everybody. We can be on twice as many stops on different ends of town, you know, because they're not doing it in front of my camera. That means I'm winning. So if what you're saying is correct, then I'm keeping them straight the best I can. I clearly want police to exist. Blah blah. I'm just getting tired of reading your comments. To be honest, you're just wasting my time here. Um, it's not about whether or not I want police to exist. You're not seeming to understand the fact that they exist. Have you not understood that they're out there? I mean, can you not wake up and see that they're everywhere? The cops are everywhere, dumbass. They exist. What I want is irrelevant. What you want is fucking irrelevant. They exist. Due to the fact that they exist, the only way to change it is to we the people to band together and change it. Jesus, what part of that is so hard to understand, and why do you want to argue about it? I mean, that's just bullshit that you're coming out with. I'm surprised you ain't got any on your shirt that's bucking it out so quick. Quit that shit, man. You don't have to do that. We can be allies. We don't have to be enemies. I don't know why you're trying to make me the enemy. That's dumb shit right there. I'm the only guy trying to unite you fools, and you're being a fool. That's just silly. Quit it. You're wasting your time. You think I kiss the Ironton cop's ass, Josh? Well, I don't really, if you're talking to me, I don't really give a shit what you think. I'll tell you that. I don't kiss anyone's ass. So, you can decide whatever you want, but I don't really give a shit. You can think whatever you want. I don't need to say that blah blah. I don't have to agree or disagree with you. That's the point. You're just wasting my time trying to get me to say certain things, but you're not in control here, bub. You'll not get me to say what you want to hear. That's not how this works. You're going to hear what I want to say. That's it. You're going to hear what I want to say, and you're going to see what I do. You're going to hear what I hear. That's it. You don't control things here. Just saying. You're right, beyond level. You're right. So, if y'all want to talk about something else, bring it up. Everybody's just talking about him and what he did say. So, if you want to say something else, you guys are in control of the chat. Say something else. I'll talk with you. How am I uniting anyone? I'm not trying to unite you, blah blah. I don't want you in my group. How about that? I don't want you. I don't want to be united with you because you have no understanding of how the world actually works. You're just pissed off and want to decide who the local enemy is. You're completely useless in any movement that's actually going to have any effect. Know that. I don't want you in my group. That ought to fix that. You're right, Doc Danger. He has the right to say whatever he wants. We don't necessarily have to pay any attention. Some people just they're so cognitively dissident that even when they see some of the truth, they become angry about it, so they become assholes. And once they become assholes, they're unable to see anything else. Everybody's the enemy. Everybody that disagrees with them on any topic is an absolute prick, and they can't stand with them. And that's the problem with blah blah. What movement am I talking about exactly? I'm talking about working my way up through the city government and then the county government. And then I'm talking about working my way up through the city government and then the county government and then the state government, Josh. That's what I'm talking about. I just haven't done that yet. It's not that I'm not working on that. I do a lot of things off the camera that you don't know about yet. But hang with me a while. Keep watching. Great things are coming. I promise you. It's about to get real big. If you want to stand with us, then do that. If you want to change some of these laws and rules and regulations and all that stuff that not only cops but us have to follow, we can't do it by arguing with the cops on the side of the street. It's not affecting any change. Name one auditor that's gotten any real change. And even if they've helped get a cop fired, that didn't damn change anything. Everything's still the same. So let's go change that stuff. The only way we can do that is at a government level, but we have to start with a local government. You can't change things locally unless you deal with the local government. You can't change things in the county unless you deal with county government. You can't change things in the state unless you deal with the state government. And you can't change things in the country until you get to that country level. But we have to start locally. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I started with the police, and now I'm hoping as we run up through the ranks, that will gain more and more allies. Some of these police officers will be allies and they will help us find out the truth about city government. City government, some of those people will become allies and will help us against the county. Some of those people in the county will help it. See, that's what it's about. It's about uniting people as we go. It's about taking on the big dogs because the police aren't the big dogs. They're the smallest. They're the smallest rung of the ladder. They're not the true enemy. They're just the first in line. They're not the ones making the laws. They're just the weird ones out there enforcing them. Not that all of them are. I'm just saying, they're just the first people in line. They're not your biggest or worst enemy at all. That's a total misnomer to think that the police are your biggest enemy. I used to think the same thing. Don't misunderstand me. I was there. It's only since I've been out and been watching them all the time that I understand the difference now. Now I'm starting to understand, but it's because I've gotten an inside scoop. You're right. They're all tied together. So how do you want to stop it, Josh? How are you going to provide change? You know, trying to decide that I'm kissing ass or I'm a bootlicker, that's not changing anything. You're definitely not going to change my mind. If you want to bring change, how would you do it, Josh? I know how to do it. If you know how to do it, then why aren't you already working on it? I am. I'm working on it right here, right now. I'm trying to convince you people to stand with me when the time comes. You know, There'll be a lot coming, don't worry. And if you don't want to stand with me, then don't, you know. But your opinions of whether I'm a bootlicker or not, irrelevant, doesn't matter. Doesn't make any difference to me or anybody else. It really doesn't. I have no reason to make an enemy of you. You know, we could be better allies than we could arguing with each other. I seen that video Beyond Level. I did see that video actually about the presidents being related. I seen that. Again, I haven't taken the requisite time to pull out all that information myself to make sure that everything I seen was correct. But from what it, from what the video, it seemed to be correct. You know, but there again, you have to understand sometimes if you don't look for yourself to make sure everything you hear and see is true, then it may not be, because some people watch Chili and they assume that they assume that everything's true, and we all know that that's not the case. So but I did see that video. I did see that video, and I do believe it. So it's not that I don't believe it. I'm just saying, you know. I can't turn the slow mo off, Josh. It's the only way I can keep up with all of you. You know, that there's so many people commenting, it's very hard for me to read. So that's why it's on slow mo, is so I can try to keep up. I'm not even sure what you're saying there, Autotron. I don't even think I can pronounce that word. Planapitenary. I'm not even sure how to speak that. I'm not sure how to enunciate that word correctly. Um, I'm kind of a walking thesaurus, but that's one I haven't added to my dictionary yet. So I'm gonna have to look that up when we get off here, because I don't even know what the hell that means, to be honest. As you say, justice of the peace, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of power they have. That may be true Beyond Level. That I don't know. I only seen one. I don't know, and so I don't know. I haven't done it myself, is what I'm saying. I refuse to say that something is absolute fact if I haven't proven it to myself. And just because someone else thinks they proved it to me doesn't necessarily make it true to me. So I'm just a little bit different on that. I choose to find the facts myself the same way they did, and if I come to the same conclusion, then they're telling the truth. If I don't come to the same conclusion, then I can't agree with them. But until I know whether or not I can agree 100%, I refuse to agree or disagree. I just agree to disagree for a minute. you know we all don't have to agree on everything to be allies. It's not necessary. We don't have to agree on absolutely everything. Some people think you do, but you don't. Yeah, there's only 50 people in here, but I only have a section about this big on my PC where I see the chat, Josh. So, I'm sorry that it's hard to have a conversation, but it's hard for me to talk to 50 different people. It's hard for me to see 50 different people putting things in the chat. That's why it's on slow mode, so I can keep up. You know, it's hard to read a paragraph as it flies by with 15 other things under it. So a lot of them I miss. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Type longer, I guess. Type more at one time. You know, the chat's not really a place. It's called a chat. It's not called a conversation. I'm sorry, but you got to kind of do the best you can there. And I'm trying to read as fast as I can, and still explain as I read each comment and respond to it. It's very hard when 5 or 6 more come up. It's hard for me to keep up. So that's why the slow mo's on. So I apologize if it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't mean for it to be, but unfortunately, it's necessary for me to be able to keep up with the chat. Um, all right, I'll try. I kind of get you there.
Easy.
You're right, Beyond Level, but I haven't looked up a single word they said was true. That's what I'm saying. I haven't had I haven't taken the requisite time to look all of that up or any of it. So, I don't necessarily believe it. I'm just not willing to state it as an absolute fact because I don't know that yet. Right now, but for my part, it's an assumption based on what I believe to be true, but it's not necessarily a fact in my mind yet. and I refuse to state it as an absolute fact. If you know it as the absolute truth, then go ahead. You can state however you like. So it's not that we're in disagreement. We're just, I try to be very careful about the things that I say so that people understand, that I refuse to say something. If I don't have the proof in my hand, or if I can't prove it sitting right here, then there's really no point in me saying it, because there again, it's just like when anybody else says anything, it may or may not be true. And I don't want you to believe something just because I said it. I don't want anybody to believe anything just because I said it. They've got to take the time to come to that decision themselves. Can I resize my chat window? No, not on this YouTube. If I had streaming software, I could, but I haven't paid for any, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use it, kind of behind the scenes, and I don't know anyone to teach me. So as far as all this, this live streaming and all this stuff, it's all brand new to me, and I'm really technologically illiterate on it, so I don't understand a lot, and I'm unable to resize that window. I can't do it on this is just the YouTube button where I hit to go live, and there's really not many options or anything's on it. So anything on it, it's not streaming software like the rest of them use, where they can have other people up in the windows and stuff. I don't even have that ability on the straight YouTube. So until I get to that, no, I can't resize the chat window. That's the problem there. And as you see, some of these people write in small paragraphs, so I'm trying my best to keep up and read. That's why I have it on slow-mo. Josh, that may be right. You could be right that they're only doing their jobs right in front of my camera. And if that's true, why would you why would you say I'm kissing their ass? It sounds more like they're kissing mine. Don't you understand? Maybe you don't. I don't have to kiss their ass to get them to do the right thing. All I have to do is walk up with the camera. If what you're saying is correct, then they're doing it right. Why are you still complaining? Come out with me and help me stand against that corruption. We have to change it at the law level. You can't change it at the bottom level. It can't be done. If so, somebody would have already done it. That's just not how it's going to work. We have to get together. We have to find the common ground that we agree on, and then we have to stand together on that till we can get enough people to stand together and go to the city and change all of those things that we don't like, and then work our way up to the county and then the state. All that's going to take a lot of time. It's not like it's going to happen tomorrow, and it sure as hell ain't going to be me looking at one of the cops on the street and telling him he's a pig. That's not going to work. It's not going to do it. If you think it is, then come on out with your camera and call them pigs and see how much changes. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm just saying calling me a bootlicker really isn't going to do any good, because I haven't licked any boots at all. If anybody's licking any boots, it seems like they're licking mine, according to what y'all are saying. If they only behave in front of my camera, then they're not having an effect on. They're not having an effect on me. I'm having the effect on them. So if what you're saying is correct, then I've already won the battle, and I don't understand why everybody's still complaining. Good idea, beyond level, always. Hopefully everybody looks up, things when people say it. I agree with you completely. I intend to. Butch Brady, he's sent me an email with his phone number. And when I get off here, I've got to talk to one other person, and then I'll be calling him a little bit later tonight. He's already told me he's a night owl and he doesn't mind what time I call. So I would definitely be talking to him on the phone in person, because in a chat's just like you guys find, it's not really the place to have a big conversation. It's really hard to do. So I've already got him. To send me his phone number, so that way he and I can speak. Well, how am I kissing ass if they act differently in front of my camera? Wouldn't that be the other way around? Maybe they're kissing my ass. Just saying. You know, I would have to act different to be kissing their ass, and they get to do whatever the hell they wanted. But if you're willing to state that they act different, all we need to agree on is what's better for we the people. What's better for the majority of us that are together. We need to find that common ground that we can stand on and quit arguing about the uncommon ground, because it's ridiculous. And like I tell everybody else, common sense is not common anymore. I've taken to call it uncommon sense because common people don't have any. I mean, the common man really doesn't have any sense at all anymore. They've let TV and media and, stupid TV shows take it all away from them. Dumbass movies. They're not thinking for themselves anymore. They just react emotionally to everything. They're not really thinking at all. all those emotional actions will just, those emotional reactions will just make you seem like you're a goober. It won't really change anything. That's why we're not getting change. That's why we're all just getting madder and madder and nothing real is happening. You're right, Billy Lawrence. You have not seen or heard it, and I haven't either. And I don't think enough people are stating that to be a fact. I haven't seen or heard of any corruption by the Ironton police since I started either. And I would think that citizens would come up to me on the street to let me know if there had been. And they haven't. As a matter of fact, all the citizens coming to me are telling me positive things, not negative things. And guys, I want to tell you something here real quick. Notice that in Ironton, not Ironton, it might be in the county. I think it's just Ironton. It might be in the entire county, because I know sometimes the county prosecutors and county sheriffs um, work differently, or work together. I mean, and we have a diversion program. That diversion program, when it comes to drugs, they don't necessarily throw you in the cage and make you a felon first, believe it or not. All of that can be washed away if you go through the diversion program and actually get off the drugs. So they do try to provide help first. Not everybody will take that. Some people end up in rehab 100 times, and it just doesn't matter what you do. Sooner or later, you got to hit them with they have to take their stripes for the crimes that they're committing, and, there's just nothing you can do about that but ensure that it happens. So I do act differently. I'm all buddy and friendly with them. Remember, all videos that has been shown regarding it went by. Where'd it go? I was reading Josh's comment shown regarding the Ironton police. Right, but the problem is a lot of those videos showing the Ironton police are highly edited. That's the part you don't understand. They're highly edited, and they have someone else telling you what's going on, which makes it easy to believe, which doesn't necessarily make it a fact. I'm working on getting some of the body cam footage from some of the things that you've heard, and some of the reports of some of the things that you've heard, to show the other side of the coin. Remember, if there's 15 cameras on scene, there'll be 15 different points of view as to exactly what's going on. Don't forget that. You can't learn everything from one video. You can assume, but just because someone says something happened doesn't mean that you know the entire truth. So just try to understand that and try to take that into consideration when you are watching something and assuming what's happening. A lot of what you've seen has been highly edited and stitched together to make it look a certain way. And that's why I try not to edit videos. I just show you, from beginning to end what happened, because that way my videos aren't done that way. There is no agenda I'm pushing. So it's not that I'm buddy. It's just that I'm not a prick. So, you need to understand the difference between the two. They aren't my buddies, but they aren't my enemies either. If they're your enemies, then I'd like to know what they did to you. If you have a personal story to tell me about, tell me. Hit me up in the email, irontonauditor@gmail.com, and tell me your story. If you don't have a story and you're just talking about everybody else's story, then you don't know anything personal and you're assuming too much. So, just try not to do that. Doesn't matter if they've not done it recently. I think it matters, because if I'm proving that change can come, then why wouldn't it not matter? I mean, if you want them to not do it and they're not doing it, and you're still bitching because now you're bitching because they're not doing it, that makes no sense whatsoever. That's what I get in the comments all the time. All the people that want to bitch and hate cops for what they do, now that they're not doing it, they want to bitch at me for them not doing it. That's just dumb shit. I mean, damn, I don't know how else to say it. That's dumb shit right there. If you're pissed off because they look better on my camera, then I've done what all other auditors are wanting to do. I've already caused the change. So, take the change where you get it. Don't bitch because you got it. I mean, geez, come out and help me get it if that's what you want to do. You're right, Wendy. People should go watch that interview with Captain Chad and listen to what he says. And I can tell you that all of his men have told me the same thing, that he preaches at them constantly about how they are to protect and preserve the public peace and uphold the constitutional rights of that public. So they hear him say it so much, they actually talk about how sick they are of hearing it. So know that Captain Chad means it when he says that that's what he teaches them, because he does. He absolutely does. Lisa, you might be onto something there. There was another video put out by, oh, for crying out loud, I think it was EB Joe maybe that put out that video. and showed their route and the ways that they went. And when you know Ironton, you can see that that video was a little different than what they showed, or what they said they showed. And that's the problem of watching a video and listening to someone else tell you what's happening, is that all the truth may not be there. Whatever, Josh. The best thing you can do then, brother, is get you a fucking camera and come out and help me then. I mean, if what you're saying is true and all it takes is a camera on government, then why isn't everybody filming the government everywhere all the time? Then all the bullshit stops. I mean, I don't understand why you're still complaining about it. If you want to stop it, grab a camera and help me. Sitting back there bitching about it ain't helping none. I can tell you that. It's not helping a bit, you know. So, whatever you want to say, man, you can hate the cops all you want. All I ever said is I don't hate law enforcement. I don't necessarily agree with everything, but that doesn't make them my direct enemy. They can be allies, and they could be powerful allies. Hey, Doc Danger, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the subscriptions. Appreciate everybody in here, even the ones that aren't subscribed. If you're hanging out in the chat, if you troll my comments, I appreciate y'all. You're always free to say whatever you like. It don't have to be positive. You see that people like Josh and blah, blah, and other people, they're not always positive with me. That's okay. It's okay. Everybody has their own ideas on what they think, and that's what we're here for, is to find out whether or not we can be we the people, whether we can quit arguing over the shitty stuff in life and find the things that make us common, find that common ground that we can stand on, the reasons that we want to help each other, not the reasons that we want to hate each other. There's too many of those. We can find those all day if we look. Let's start finding the reasons that we can love and care for each other and start standing together. That's what we need to look for. That'll make us all stronger people. Maybe I do how you do. I'm not. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Josh. Maybe I do how you do. I'm not. I'm not. Are you asking me how do I know that you don't do what I do? I don't. I don't know that at all. I don't know what you do. I don't claim to know what you do. You just claim to know an awful lot about what I do. That's all I'm saying. I didn't claim anything. It just seems like you're not doing anything. I don't see you out there helping me. That's what I don't see. However, if you want to come out with me, come on out. I'm always welcoming another camera. So that doesn't bother me a bit. And I don't think it bothers the Ironton Police Department at all either, because I've been out there with one for quite a while now. You're right, Billy Lawrence. That's exactly what happened. When Chili got here, he said that addicts don't need jail, they need help. And then when he found out that the drug court actually offers help, then he started talking about how the help was corrupt too. So, and maybe some it is. I'm not saying it's not. I haven't gotten that far yet. We got to work our way up through that. I started with the police, and we're going to work our way through all that. We're going to find out about the local government. We're going to find out about the courts. We're going to find out about the rehab programs. We're going to find out where all that money's going, because, that's the only thing that's going to either set it free or prove it the way he said it. We're going to do that. Just making the accusations, though, doesn't prove anything. That's just somebody saying some stuff. So we're going to have to get together, find the truth, and then report that. Might be true beyond level. I don't think all the money in the world to help us get changed, because that's not who pays for it. We end up paying them. That's for sure. They take our money whether we want them to or not. That's why none of us have any, for that matter. You're right, Butch. Some people live every day to get up and be confrontational when it's not necessary. You all see that I'm obviously not like that. I don't live every day to be confrontational. As a matter of fact, I try to quell confrontation when I can. I don't want to fight. If I have to and I'm forced to, I will. But if we don't have to fight and we can talk it out and then we can find common ground to agree on, I'd rather do that. I'd much rather do that. That makes life a lot easier for both parties, or how many ever parties there are. We can start standing together on certain topics, don't have to agree on everything. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I don't really see a whole lot coming up. We're just kind of beating a dead horse now, I think. I'm just kind of repeating the same stuff to the same people. And that's not going to do any good. So we've been on here, like 2 hours and 50 minutes. We're like 10 minutes away from 3 hours. Basically, I just wanted to see if there were people that would stand with me and wanted to see me do this and wanted to see me go further. And it seems like that's the truth. So know right now that I am absolutely going to do that. I'm going to 100% go ahead with it. You guys will get to go with me. So keep watching. Great things are coming. When I say great, I don't mean it's going to be the most fun. When I say great, I mean great big. There are big things coming. It may not equal the change we want, but at least we're going to find out the truth behind it. If we can't have it, we are going to know why. And if we can't change it, we're going to die trying. That's what's going to happen. So, I'm just trying to make sure that people in here actually, that there's somebody other than me that actually gives a shit and really does care about whether or not things change. The people that just want to call names and decide that I'm a bootlicker or whatever, the hell with them. I don't need them. The people that want real change, those are the ones I'm looking for. Whether or not they consider me a bootlicker is irrelevant to me. And if it was irrelevant to them and they can stand with me and help me change things, then I ask them to do that. So, guys, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I can't say enough to those who donated money. I can't say any more than thank you. I wish there were words in the English language to express how thankful I am. But know that, and it doesn't take money for me to be thankful. I'm thankful, and I love all of you each and every way I can. Even the ones that hate me know that I'll die for your rights the same as I will anybody else's. That's the soldier that's in me, and that is what you'll get. So, guys, Butch, check your email. I don't think I can check your email, but if you sent me one, I'll check mine. If that's what you actually meant, I think I know. You know, just remember how I got here to be able to ask for money. I didn't ask for any money, Josh. I think you missed the whole point. I've not asked you for a dime, sir, and I've not asked anybody else for a dime. Some people just donated. I've not asked for any money whatsoever. I think you better get your facts straight before you go out and say too much. That's all. You better know what you're talking about before you make an assumption, because that's a total assumption. I never asked for money. So anyway, guys, I'm going to break it off here and let it go for now. There's no point in keeping, like I said, arguing and beating a dead horse. Guys, I love each and every one of you. There's too many people in here to thank personally. Guys, know that I see all of you, and I'll be going back and watching the live chat this video later so that I can better hit some of the comments. And maybe I'll be able to, if you comment down under the video, I'll be able to respond back and forth a little bit better than I was here. And know that that's why it was slowed down, is just so I could keep up just a little bit better. So I appreciate y'all for being here, and we're probably going to do this. I'm going to try to get this going next week, probably 2 or 3 days a week. I'm going to try to bring more information and more ideas so that so that you guys get to learn with me and get to learn some of the things that I've said, or some of the things that I've learned, and you'll know how to get those public information, the public information that you need here locally. You'll have all that information. So just stick with me for a bit, and I promise the education's coming. And all along the way, we'll keep watching the police. We'll keep doing that, and we'll keep them on their toes. And so there you go, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I hope you all have a great night. So good night to all, and thank you for being here.